Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
Hey Pirate fans, it's Russell with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington. In case you didn't know, Father's Day is next weekend and we want to be your source to put that smile on your dad's face.
We're a full-service men and women's clothing store dedicated to customer service.
We have beautiful sports shirts and polos from Peter Millar, Johnny O, Onward Reserve, and Gentile. From a small to a double XL, we've got a beautiful collection of swimsuits by a new line called Michaels. Guy does his own artwork. They are absolutely beautiful. We sell a lot of duck head, pants, shorts, polos, and button downs. Rhonda's running a little special. Buy any 3 pieces of duck head and get a free duck head t-shirt or hat with purchase. If you can't make a decision, any dad would be happy with a Russell's gift certificate.
Remember, it's all about you, our pirate friends and customers.
Come and see us. The gift wrap is free and beautiful at Russell's in historic downtown Washington.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Ty?
Hi.
Ty?
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
He's a cool cat, man.
Superstitious beers. Superstitious beers.
I got a little taco meat on my chest.
I grabbed a handful of lunch meat and shoved it down my teammate's throat.
I'm a former long snapper.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
At the Burlington... I have no idea what the just happened.
Did not flub at all. Send it in.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Free Beer Friday, Football Friday, and Fifth Quarter Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Going to have fun here on a Friday. Thanks for tuning in on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930 online, pr927fm.com. And watch the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. We want to hear from you today, so make sure you are chimed in and ready to go with a like, a subscribe, and let us know what you're up to and what you're looking forward to this sports weekend, or you can go off the sports path as well. Whatever's on your mind here on this Friday, let us know. Facebook and YouTube. You can hit us up on Twitter as well, or if you're feeling extra froggy, give us a call, 317-1250, and we'll put you on the Pirate Radio Live line. All right, coming up on today's show, got some guests to get to. We'll chat with Brian North. I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks. We'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports this weekend, look at the Big Rock and some other items as well. He joins us coming up later on in hour number 1. Hour 2, Tony Dunn makes his weekly Friday appearance. We'll see if there's anything going on news and notes-wise in the NFL. I do want to have some larger picture discussions. I was thinking about if, we did a draft earlier this week on soup and MLB hats with Patrick Mason. If you were doing like a franchise draft, and if you could somehow take your biases out of it, who would you take first to be a fan of? And kind of 3 different ways, like all time, who would you take that you're a fan of all time and still today? Who would you take if you were a fan just in your football watching life? For me, that would be since 1995. For Chandler, that would be, by the way, Chandler Honeycutt's here, so he can speak. Hello, Chandler.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for letting me answer. For you, that would be what, 2007, 8? When does your football watching life begin?
For East Carolina, 2007. For Panther football, 2011.
All right, but did you know about the NFL before 2011?
I did.
All right, we'll start 2011.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wasn't invested in it. I remember watching Chris Johnson and those Titans, those Titans teams with Kerry Collins, the year that they started off 8-0 in the season, and the 2,000-yard season for Chris Johnson. I do remember it, but I just wasn't invested in it like I was when I started in 2011.
2011 will be your start time. And then how about you? Intern Joey's here. Shirley's here. What's up, people? Shirley's got major senioritis going on. We're going to try to do
senioritis. No way.
We're going to do we're going to get through this 3 hours as quick as we can.
I do not have
Shirley.
senioritis. I am stressed trying to make sure everything is done before I leave.
Done. Joey, when did your football watching life begin?
I just did a quick little research. My first season that I really started hammering on the Panthers was 2009.
Okay.
John Fox still the head coach. Richardson still the owner.
All right. So that's question 2. Question 1 is like all time. Question 2 from the day your football watching live, and then question 3, if you could pick another franchise to be a fan of for the next 7 years, who would it be? So we're going to answer those questions. Well, whose immediate future looks the brightest right now that you think you'll see a lot of wins and some Super Bowls and be able to root for cool players? So we'll dive into some of those coming up in hour 2 with Tony Dunn. Hour 3, Morgan Ahlers will join us. We'll get a Holt update, and we'll talk some sports with the voice of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium and Minges Coliseum, Morgan Ahlers, and Mark Greenhalgh. We'll get a live report from Greenie on the U.S. Open going on out in California. Do a quick leaderboard update. I'm kind of waiting around on my guys to hit the course. I got a little piece of Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm going in this tournament, and right now the leader is sitting at -8. We're still waiting for Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele to get on the course, who are sitting at -8 and try to extend their leads. But right now you've got Wyndham Clark, Ricky Fowler, and Xander Schauffele sitting at 8 under par. That is the lead at the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy tied with a group at -5 with Sam Bennett, Harris English. Dustin Johnson -4. He's +2 on the day today. So we'll keep an eye on that, what's going on out of the U.S. Open on the Buccaneer Music Hall leaderboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
We've got College World Series action underway in Omaha. It is scoreless between Oral Roberts and TCU. I love the crowd shots. It almost looks like a video game, like a fake crowd, because everybody's wearing a different color shirt. But a pretty good crowd to see this opener. Should be rocking and rolling tonight. What is it? Virginia, Florida coming up tonight. Wake, Stanford tomorrow, and then LSU, Tennessee under the lights on Saturday night will be interesting to watch as well. So we'll keep you up to date on that as we watch it here in the Pirate Radio studios. Looks like we're going to go to the 4th inning scoreless between the Horned Frogs and the Eagles. All right, and we'll see what you guys are talking about on this Friday. Jamie says, guess all you Hornets fans are happy again. Eric says the words happy and Hornets aren't typically used in the same sentence. Interesting for me personally, Snyder out, MJ out. So it doesn't mean it guarantees success for your team, but whatever they were doing in the past wasn't working. So I'm excited for new ownership, both in Washington and in Charlotte. How about you as a Hornets fan, Chandler, to see Michael Jordan selling the Hornets?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't believe it's been 13 years that Michael Jordan's been the majority owner, because he's had some sort of ownership since 2006, whether that's minority but starting in 2010, he was the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets. So after 13 years, he's given it up. But I'm very excited about, I guess, a different direction in ownership and seeing kind of how things can be run from a different perspective. But I did see, and I thought originally that Michael Jordan was completely done with the Hornets. That is not true. He will continue to be a minority owner.
I understand that. I've been completely done with the Hornets a lot of times in my life, but there's still a little bit.
But you have a minority ownership in fandom.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I understand that. But no, I'm very excited about where this franchise can go under new new ownership, new leadership, and I understand that one of the guys that is buying into the Hornets has been a part of the franchise for a while as a minority owner. But yeah, very exciting. That's one of the first things I saw this morning is that Michael Jordan was finalizing a deal to sell the Hornets, and we knew that this was under the radar for quite some time now in Charlotte, and now it's finally happening. And I guess congratulations to you for having two major league sports franchises going under new ownership. Much needed new ownership as well.
Yeah, I've got that going on, and the Braves are cruising. So sports life looking up right now, I would say, overall. And some big news today in college sports. Ross Dellinger, what is he, Sports Illustrated? Who's he with? Sports Illustrated says San Diego State sent the Mountain West written notification this week that it intends to leave the conference, asking the league to delay its deadline to officially withdraw. So there was a June 30th deadline for San Diego State to formally notify the Mountain West it is resigning from the conference. The school owes a $17 million exit fee if it notifies the league by then. If not, the exit fee doubles. Well, no way that the Mountain West would withdraw the delay the deadline. I mean, they're going to get all the money they can get out of this, right? So what does that mean? Where's San Diego State going? Big 12?
I mean, this kind of sounds, when you first started to read it, it reminded me of back in the day when you used to have these video dens. You go and rent a movie. It just kind of piles on after each day that you don't return it back. So they better get something done, or it's just going to pile on. The money's going to pile on.
So
where are they heading? San Diego State. I have no idea.
San Diego State does not have an invitation to the Pac-12, according to a source. Are they breaking up with their date before they have another date? I mean, they got to have something cooked up, at least handshake agreements or something. Yeah. So Pac-12 expansion. I guess Big 12 not expanding right now, but who knows? Who knows what the next shoe to drop is? But San Diego State is making their way out of their current conference. All right. Jerry says 1984. My first memory was the Redskins defeating the St. Louis Cardinals. Those two teams don't even exist anymore. When the Cardinals missed a 50-yard field goal as time expired, Skins win the NFC East and make the playoffs.
Now, I am a sports guy. This is breaking news to me. I did not know that before the St. Louis Rams, which before the St. Louis Rams, it was the Los Angeles Rams, but I did not know that there was a NFL team in St. Louis by the name of Cardinals, just like their baseball team.
So St. Louis.
That is shocking to me.
The St. Louis Cardinals, 1987.
Gene Stallings, who was also the head coach at Alabama.
Let's see. So they left St. Louis and went to, I guess, Phoenix. Is that how it worked out? Then the NFL went back to St. Louis in 1995 from L.A., and then recently
back to LA. So that's how all that worked. Well, there you go. Jerry, thank you for educating younger sports fans out there. Appreciate that. I did not know that, and that is very interesting. I love finding out new tidbits in sports because, I mean, I am a sports guy. I know a lot about sports, but I'm always looking to improve my knowledge of sports, and now it's improved thanks to Jerry.
By the way, Joey Chandler says, I am a sports guy. He officially is. It happened last year, and we got to do this again. We used to do it with CJ. This year, we'll do it. Joey, you going to be here in the fall, you think? Or are you summer guy?
Fall.
All right. We got to, and maybe we'll get Connor involved, but we used to do, you had to pick a top 10 upset every week and a top 25 upset every week. Mm-hmm. And there were pretty easy ones to pick. Some were tough decisions. Chandler put the boys on the table. Remember?
Hey, you put the boys out, put them on the table.
You took them out, you put them on the table, and you said, forget the spread, forget everything. Tennessee is going to beat Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I said, Chandler, if Tennessee beats Alabama, you win your sports guidem forever. And I can't take it away from you. As much as I want to, I'll never be able to take it back from you.
Yeah.
Tennessee won that game. He's a sports guy. That's how it happened.
I take so much pride in that pick because, I had so much confidence in Tennessee that day. Tennessee at home, big underdog. I like to see them, upset Alabama. And sure enough, it was one of the craziest college football games of the season that year. So, but what a great pick, and it's a pick that will be remembered for the rest of the time in the sports world.
They'll make a 30 for 30 just from that pick.
Absolutely.
Josh says, MJ making deals from the boat? Maybe so. Maybe he's got a big marlin on the line and also just became a whole lot richer. Jamie had the numbers out there and says MJ did pretty well. Bought for $275 million, selling for $3 billion. Not a bad investment.
Yeah, he made some money off of the Hornets.
And congrats to him for giving us crap season after crap season with crap players. Thank you. Thanks, MJ.
Well, another story coming out of the Hornets, not only did he sell the team, but apparently the Pelicans are trying to trade up because they really want Scoot Henderson.
All right. This is fifth quarter Friday. I got to get this stuff in. But I want to circle back to that. Don't let me forget.
I got you.
Because I don't know. I feel like Chandler and I differ on what we would do with that number 2 pick. So let's table that. We'll get into it maybe hour 2. But it's fifth quarter Friday. So we did this last week. It was a lot of fun. What I've got today is another big calls from a fun win where everybody's celebrating. And I've got some oddball, negative, fun stuff. Let's start with the big calls. Last week we did the victory over West Virginia in 2008. Today we'll go to 2014. Pirates crush North Carolina. It is a celebration in Greenville. We partied on the fifth quarter. And Shirley, let's hear some of those calls from that great day at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium.
Kendall in Aden. Hey, Kendall.
4-0, Clip. 4-0 in the last 2 years against ACC opponents. 4-0. ACC, if you want some, as Nicholas would say, you come get some. Recruits out there, if you want to go to Chapel Hill or to Raleigh or to Winston-Salem or to Durham, you go right ahead. But if you want to come to the finest institution in the state of North Carolina, then you come to Greenville, Clip. You come to Greenville, baby. Go Pirates. Arr!
Let's go to Herb in Greenville. Hey, Herb.
Dear Mother of God, that was an awesome game. Governor McCrory, he just texted me. He said he's changing the name. He's taking an executive order. He's changing the name from North Carolina to East Carolina. That is the new state name as of Monday morning, 8 o'clock sharp. Y'all check your websites. That's what it is.
Let's go up to New York and talk to Matt. Hey, Matt.
I just wanted to call in and say it was a hell of a football game. Very proud of the Pirates. And as somebody that does no longer live in Eastern North Carolina, I'm proud to wear purple and gold.
Let's go to Mike in Greenville. Hey, Mike.
I really feel sorry for UNC. You know, they're in the ACC. We're a non-P5. We're a non-P5 school. You know, if they win, they're supposed to win. If we beat them, it really doesn't do anything for them. So I don't understand why UNC continues to play us.
Mike, go Pirates!
Let's go to Kyle, who is in traffic. Hey, Kyle.
What's going on, guys? Hey, that was the personification of a domination with certification. And the Tar Heels, after that one, they're menstruating. Go Pirates.
Let's go to Heath in Ocracoke. Hey, Heath.
It was men versus boys today. I mean, it was just evident from, the line just pushing them around, and then when you could see our running backs just outrunning all those 3, 4, and 5-star recruits that everybody talks about that Carolina always gets. As my good friend Johnny Gardner always says, he's the biggest Pirate fan there ever was. If this was a fight, they would have stopped it. And that's just the bottom line. If it was a fight, they would have stopped it early on. And I don't know if I'm more excited to see Ruffin's show tomorrow or Larry Fedoras to see how he tries to explain this. Hope you guys have a good night and go Pirates.
Let's try Patrick in Greenville. Hey, Patrick.
Last year, Carolina said that they weren't ready for us. They weren't prepared. So what is their excuse this year? I'm dying to find out tomorrow.
Let's go to Jeff in Erie, Pennsylvania. Hey, Jeff.
The only problem I had, I turned on ESPNU, and there was not a game on. All we had was an ECU Pirate recruiting video. So I'm hoping what the kids saw was this is the place to be. This is where there's excitement. The announcers went on and on about skilled players. This is the kind of offense you want to play in, and it was just a phenomenal broadcast. And I wish I was down there to enjoy it with you guys and in God's country.
Let's go to William in LaGrange. Hey, William.
Had the privilege today of meeting the guy that played center for us from 1946 to 48. He was a decorated World War II veteran. His last name was Pendleton. He had his actual jersey with him today, and also his letter on his sweater from that way back then. And it was a great day for Eastern North Carolina, a great day for Greenville and the Pirate Nation. And you know how long I've been around Pirate football, guys, and we've been told no, no, no. Well, today we can say a resounding damn it, yes.
Chloe in Pinehurst.
I just wanted to say cheaters never win.
Oh, that is so
Clip,
true.
I'm going to go ahead and put that in a big call right there for Monday.
Billy is up in Greenville. Hey, Billy.
I hope this game served a point to everybody else and put every other team on notice that we'll play with anybody, anywhere, and to be a part of this stadium tonight at the record crowd that we had at Rowdy Dowdy was absolutely phenomenal.
Let's go to Mike in Greenville. Hey, Mike.
I would just like to say that we beat the tar out the Hills tonight, and the only thing I was looking for was to see touchdown Tony Collins on the screen saying, "Larry, are you ready?"
Shirley, do you have a Larry? Are you ready?
Yeah, can you play that for him?
You know who's got to be ready. Larry! Are you ready, Larry?
Waylon's up in Grifton. Hey, Waylon.
What is Larry? What was he saying at halftime? I mean, you've had a fake field goal for a touchdown. You've run a halfback pass. You've had a block punt. You've had an interception, and you're still down 15 points. Guys, I have no more Houdinis. I don't know what else to tell you. I've thrown the whole bag of tricks at you. I believe Larry was not ready, and he got his hat handed to him.
Let's try Paul in Greenville. Hey, Paul.
I'll tell you what, guys, the only thing a tall hole like me can do after the debacle of that magnitude was just laugh. And, of course, Carolina messenger boards are always a great source of material for the truly self-effacing. My favorite observations from the banquet this season. Uncle, ECU covered the over solo. If ECU scores 100, do they get free biscuits at Bojangles? And, of course, number one, since time immemorial, when does basketball start? Hey, I made it out there, guys. Great environment. And I have to say, ECU fan and students took this one with a lot of class. Maybe they were just too floored to really rub it in. But at the end of the day, Pirate Nation, I think, took pity on the Heels.
Let's go to Chicago Pirate. Hello, Chicago Pirates.
I'm not even going to talk football tonight. Of course, I'm excited about a Pirate victory, but Coach Ruff is just an amazing guy. I thought I'd share with you guys that even during the prep for the Virginia Tech game, he took time to send my family a letter. Just kind of, I think I told you, Troy, what we were going through, and it's just amazing that this guy preparing for the number 17 team in the country would take time to write a family who's going through a serious medical condition with one of their children. So aside from football, we're just gifted, blessed, and incredibly, it's humbling to know what kind of man is leading the program.
Yeah,
I got to be careful not to get emotional, of course, but it's just coaches like that are not a dime a dozen. And whether this program is winning or losing, these fans and these alumni need to temper their emotions, temper what they say, and realize that a guy like this is not common. And Ruff's got me for life. That's all I've got to say.
Let's go to John in Wilmington.
Come on, guys. I want to go ahead and get this out of the way. Troy D, Clip, Alan Thomas, the mayor. Give me a come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Go back to Robert McNeil's press conference when he got hired as the head coach. He was in Atlanta, Georgia, getting ready to take the damn defensive coordinator job at Stanford, and he got the call that we wanted him in Greenville. He took it. If you ain't heard that story, Google it up. As Ruff McNeil would say, Google it up.
Rick Smith cried. Rick Smith cried at his interview. He never sold his house in Brook Valley. I don't know about y'all, brother, but I want to be a part of somebody that wants to be a part of me. Go Pirates. And if Fedor says this ain't a rivalry game no more, he can kiss my... Well, anyway, go Pirates.
Oh, man. That was a fun day.
Love this new segment that we have on this show.
It brings back good memories. It's also kind of tough, like those last two calls.
One guy getting emotional talking about Ruffin McNeil.
Yeah, and then the
Johnny
at the end. I want to be a part of something where people want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
it was not a year and a few months later, Ruffin McNeil was fired. That's how quickly things happen in the sports world.
Yeah,
you go from hero to GOAT very, very fast.
You go from being top 15 in the country, going to Philadelphia to play Temple. You put the ball on the ground 5 times, and that's kind of where things went downhill. Next thing you know, you're finishing the season at the hands of Cincinnati with a game-winning field goal that knocked you out of bowl contention, 5-7. Next thing you know, Ruffin McNeil, the guy that so many Pirate fans loved and still love to this day, was fired. And then you hire Coach Mo, and then it's just, things turned around really quick for East Carolina football in just a matter of, like you said, a year and a few months.
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy. And it's crazy. It's exciting, and it feels so good. It warms my heart to hear those calls and the excitement in those people's voices. But it's crazy to think about the quick turnaround in this program and the way we've had to build back, and we're doing that right now with Mike Houston.
All right, Jamie says the calls after big losses are much more entertaining. I know. I'm aware. I'm glad that my misery can entertain you, Jamie. The one that we have to take these calls and get berated for 3 hours. But I get it. That is more entertaining. Negative sales. I get it. So on that note, let's hear a great call from Captain Bill. Captain Bill wanted to fire every good coach we've ever had. This one goes all the way back to Skip Holt's days, Chandler.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what game this is from, but you hear the players' names he says, and you hear the coach's name, you know the era it's from. So, Shirley, give us some good old Captain Bill anger real quick.
Let's go back to the U.S. Cellular live line at 317-1250. Captain Bill's next up. Hey, Captain Bill.
I am so freaking mad. Good Lord. This is a terrible football team. And people need to wake up. They need to read. They need to listen. They need to learn. The reason we're getting a deep ball thrown on us is because we ain't got Levin Neal in there, and we ain't got Emmanuel Davis. We ain't got no depth there. Everybody's going to keep the third deep ball. Second of all, everybody needs it. I have criticized Patrick for the last couple weeks. Everybody needs to shut up about Patrick. Patrick had a good day, I thought, compared to the first 2 weeks. The problem is this, is that sorry coaching staff. I wish Skip Hope had carried his rear end to wherever he could have carried it on the offseason, because this whole coaching staff sucks. It's something every week. 1 week it's Patrick. Next week it's a secondary. 1 week it's the running backs. I mean, it's always something. Look at the missed tackles. I mean, a lot of things, what I noticed today, it's coachable. Missed tackles, arm tackling. I mean, it's coachable. Everything all these mistakes are coachable. No discipline. Sitting here getting 15-yard penalties, got no business getting. It's discipline. This team is out of way. This team reminds me when Tuck Amato had his team about 3 years ago. It's what this team reminds me. This team is awful, man. I'm telling you, awful. This team needs to have a gut check. Somebody needs to do something, because this is ridiculous. You got all this experience up here, right, clear across the board. This is the 5th year I have criticized Skip Holt's whole staff since year 1 he come in here. I didn't like the hire. I didn't like his coaching staff. I didn't like any of it. But he brought him in here, and here's year 5. Everybody said, shut your mouth, shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. This is his year. Well, guess what? This is the worst year I think he's going to have at East Carolina, because he's just not getting it done. And I'm frustrated, guys, and I appreciate y'all letting me vent and rage. But, God, I am freaking pissed. And I'm going to hang up.
There is the infamous Captain Bill. This might be. I think North Carolina hit some deep
And
balls
this is
on us.
assuming that Captain Bill was accurate by saying Chuck Amato about 3 years ago. So if that's the case, Amato's last year at Raleigh was 06.
All the context clues say this is 2009 because he said he should have gone somewhere last year. And
then also this, I believe Emmanuel Davis did not play in this game because
Carolina game?
Well, whatever game that he was calling after, because I remember him saying like the only reason they were throwing the deep ball on us is because Emmanuel Davis wasn't in the game. And I do remember some of those games that he might have missed due to injury.
Well, I don't see him in this box score. I'm thinking this is when East Carolina dropped to 1-2 after a loss to North Carolina. They ended up winning 9 games that year. Of course, winning another conference championship and unfortunately losing another heartbreaker in the Liberty Bowl to Arkansas.
Ryan Mallett in Arkansas.
Yeah. Let's get one more in here. I listened back to this today. Sometimes I really am a jerk, aren't I? You can be honest.
Being quite frank, yes.
Thank you for being frank. Thank you for being a Frank.
Thank you for being a Frank.
And I was kind of a jerk to this guy. My question is, did he earn it, or did I go too far, Chandler? It's nothing major, but
I'll be the judge of that.
I'll let you judge it. All right, let's hear James in Greenville calling in after a game. 317-1250. James is up next in Greenville. Hey, James.
Hello.
Hello. Turn your radio down.
Hey, Troy and Jonathan, we appreciate everything y'all do.
Neither one of them are here.
Tonight is this win. Does this continue Scotty Montgomery's job or not after this win?
All right. Thanks for the call, James. I'll let Troy and Jonathan answer that when they're in the studio, but they're not here right now. Clip Brock, Terrence Copper, Alan Thomas here in the studio. T-Cop, AT hanging out. Should I have answered his question? Or
All right, here's my answer.
How should I have handled
Here's my
that?
answer. No. You know why? He was not talking to you. He was talking to Jonathan.
He was
and
talking
Troy.
to two people who were not here.
And if Jonathan and Troy, which I know, knowing them, they were probably tuned into the fifth quarter that day, whatever. And maybe they answered it off the air. Maybe they answered it to somebody else. But he did not address you. He didn't even know you were the host of that show.
He didn't know any
He thought
of
he
us.
was listening to Live at 5. He thought the boys were back in town, and they weren't. They were not back.
The boys are out of town.
But no, he literally, and I love how you were talking to him. He addressed Jonathan and Troy. You said neither one of those guys are here. What did he do? He kept on just talking.
Yeah.
And
They
try to
plowed
get his
through
point
it.
across. So I think you did the right thing. You didn't answer because he did not ask you.
Chris said, what about the comedic call 2 seasons ago? Guy said he'd been in the Pirate Club forever and was going to stop donating. I don't know. I'm gonna have to dive in, and we're gonna do this every Friday. So I'll try to find some more funny calls from the past. He said, "Wait, that was Clip." Oh, I did that. Oh, I called in at the end of a show, I think, one time. Is that what you're talking about? I forgot about that. I'll have to bring that back.
Yeah, Billy, you stepped out. Somebody called in. Billy
That's
Weaver
right.
had to take the call.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was an angry fan. He didn't know what he was talking about.
I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me of that, Chris.
That was funny.
All right, let's take a break. When we return, Brian North joins us. Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. TCU, solo bomb. They have a 1-0 lead over Oral Roberts as they play in Omaha, day 1 of the College World Series on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by The Buck.
The Buck.
We're back with you, PRL, after this.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night. I'm feeling alright.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us, and I want to invite you to attend our CG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates!
Hey Wood Ducks fans, be sure to purchase your single game tickets online at woodducksbaseball.com. Have a big group? No problem. Book your group tickets by calling our front office at Granger Stadium. This year's schedule features the return of daily themes including Tribute Tuesday, Winning and Wind Down Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Mother Earth Friday, Pepsi Saturday, and Dogs and Dogs Day. Make sure to follow the Down East Wood Ducks on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook so you don't miss anything. We hope to see you out at Granger Stadium all season long. Let's go Woodies! Wally's 2 Kettle Corn in Winterville is where you can find the tastiest popcorn around. Make it a movie night at home with Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, and my favorite, better butter. Or try their specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Wally's 2 also caters, so if you're hosting a party or event, satisfy your company with delicious popcorn. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Happy 100th anniversary to Minji's Bottling Group. Congratulations on 100 years of refreshing Eastern North Carolina. The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro. We are the professional office systems people.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard, and take a trip to a state park and enjoy traditional camping. You can also enjoy RV space and air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or kayak and get out on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner. For more information, visit ncparks.gov. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. 12 carries, 142 yards, 3 touchdowns. Should have gave him the ball more that day, Chandler.
Yeah, I would say so.
Talking about old Panther stuff, and I just remembered Tim Biakabatuka running all over Washington in 1999. And he only had 142 yards. I say only because he had, just in touchdown runs alone, 106 yards in the first quarter. We actually did a good job on them after that. That was a wild game. That was a fun game. That was a good Redskins team that won the division, won a playoff game. The last Washington team to win a home playoff game, 1999. God, we suck.
That's one of the other night at trivia. That was one of the first teams I blurted out when it said the
11-win seasons.
11-win seasons for these teams.
No 11-win season since 2010. There are 3 teams in the NFL. Washington, you got to go back to 91. 91. The other 2, Jags and Dolphins, both did it in the 2000s.
My dad was a senior here at ECU.
Man, oh man. Let's head out to the Pirate Radio live line and talk to Brian North here on this Friday. He joins us on the show. North, how you doing today, man?
I am living, Clipper. I am living.
Living life. We are in a bit of a dark time when it comes to sports. Still stuff going on. You've got your U.S. Open and College World Series, Major League Baseball, and some things coming up this weekend. But how about the Big Rock North? And I was thinking about this. You try to find interesting, odd stories, kind of put yourself in the middle of it all. I'm surprised you haven't done this, or maybe you have done this and I just don't know. I'm surprised like Brian North hasn't done a trip out on a boat, like a fishing day at the Big Rock. Is that, I don't know, what's your thoughts on that? Would you be into that?
Yeah, we plan it or say we're going to do it every year. The problem is it's a long day to do so, and you don't know what time you're going to get back, so you basically can't count yourself for working that day. Because you just don't know when you'll be back. So it's always just been logistically, do you take yourself out of the rotation when you only have 6 days of coverage as it is? Do you take yourself out? So I've just never taken myself out of the rotation to do that. But we have had reporters go out before. The only one we've ever had witness a blue marlin be boated was a guy named Kyle Horan, and that was probably about 10 years ago. So it's hard to gamble, right? It's fishing, and so most of the time, it's just a dud day on the sea, and we don't see much when we send reporters out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of sitting around time. There's anticipation, and man, if you do get it, it's got to be a really cool feeling. I saw a lot of the boats, almost all the boats signed up for the tournament were out on the water today. So I don't know. I know it's a very vast blue sea out there, but in my brain, it's like boats are right up beside each other fighting for the same marlin. I know it's not like that, but a lot of boats on the water today, looks like.
Well, but it kind of is, because they're all looking for the Gulf Stream. They're all kind of trying to figure out where they're feeding, and they all kind of do their studying. So even though it is a huge ocean, they're all kind of looking for the same spots, the feeding areas. And so when you see somebody, and you have to understand when they're fishing for marlin, those things go out like a mile when you catch them, and they dive and go off.
Oh, yeah.
So it can be real easy if you've got somebody close by to get tangled lines, and no one wants to tangle their lines. So, but I've heard when it's crowded out there, you can see other ships, and that always kind of makes you feel uneasy when you see other ships.
I don't know if MJ is out there on his boat, but I do know he's in the news for selling the Charlotte Hornets. And for me personally, all my owners are selling, which is a good thing. No Snyder, no MJ. Maybe we get some success with some of these teams. But saw that coming out today, Brian, that the Charlotte Hornets going to get a new front office look, it looks like.
Yeah, I haven't heard the reasons why, but obviously, he's going to make a nice, healthy sum on his investment. And maybe he's just tired of having to be a part of it. I just haven't heard the reasoning behind it. But Michael's always made pretty good financial decisions before, so I'm sure he's probably going to make a nice chunk of change on his initial investment.
Yeah, and whoever's golfing with him next week better be ready, because it's going to be some expensive golf games.
Yeah.
Some expensive bets on the line. Speaking of betting, Brian, how about legalized gambling, sports gambling coming to North Carolina? Going to have to wait, I think, until the next calendar year, but that has been put into motion, right?
Yeah, supposedly in January there will be 8 facilities in the state you can go to, and most of it you can do online with your phone. Now, you tell me, I'm not a gambler. I don't ever place wagers. Does that make a difference that North Carolina has legalized it? Now, do you, as a North Carolinian, would you patronize only North Carolina businesses now? Does it really matter outside of maybe the in-person experience, and those are limited with only 8 spots? Does that matter that sports betting is now legalized in our state?
Yeah, I definitely think so, because and there are folks, I think there's like bookies on every corner, but you have to know these people and form relationships with them, and a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people live a clean lifestyle, like myself, Brian. But now it is going to be so readily available. Like when I went to New Jersey the last time, it was during the NCAA tournament, and I could have done it when I was driving through Virginia, but I waited till I got to New Jersey and signed up for an online account with, I want to say DraftKings it was, and they give you some kind of bonus. So while I was there, I basically gambled with free money, ended up coming home with like, I don't know, $60 when I drove home that Sunday. Made sure to go ahead and take it from my account while I was in New Jersey. I was wondering if it was all, like by the time I got to North Carolina, would it all be wiped out? I didn't know how it was going to work, but it ended up working out for me. But yeah, this is going to make it easy, and for, I guess, opponents to gambling too easy for people to just get on their phones and lose their money. And I've never been to a live sports book, Brian, so I am looking forward to that experience as well, watching games and everybody hooting and hollering, and some people, the happiest people on earth, some people going to have to tell their wives there's no electricity for the next month. So like it's there's pros and cons, obviously, but yeah, this is going to make it super easy. Download an app, put in your information, and bet on the game. That's kind of how it's going to go, I think, for people.
I guess in my mind, I thought you could just get online and gamble without any problem, no matter where you live.
So now, Brian, and it's weird, they have some apps that do work where, and I don't know how they get around it or work around it, but there's like a Prize Picks app where people in North Carolina can go on, and even more mainstream than that, you can do the DraftKings like daily fantasy stuff. Like I could make a lineup tonight with Acuna and Aaron Judge, whatever, and actually play and win and lose real money, but you can't actually bet on the games themselves, like Braves minus 120. You can't do that. But there are workarounds where for some reason you can bet on an individual's performance, but not on the team. Now everything will be open to you. So, yeah, you're right. There are some things you can do currently, but you can't do everything, if that makes sense.
And that makes Ariel Epstein even more popular around Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, now she can move back.
Yeah.
She was getting on me about gambling the other day.
Really?
Yeah, just and I ended up winning. It was ECU. They were a huge favorite over Oklahoma that Friday night. And I said, lay it on the Pirates. And she said, you're doing all that? It was probably not a smart gambling move. It worked out for me. But I said, Ariel, there's a reason you're where you are and I'm where I'm at. Correct. So just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't, you're hanging out with freaking Big Papi or whatever. Leave the little people alone.
Yeah, Little Pedro, Big Papi, all those people. Yeah, we're just peons from her beginning.
Brian North, the head peon that got her where she is today. You take a little credit for that. How's the Brian North coaching tree looking these days, Brian? Got a lot of people that have gone on to big things?
Not bad. I mean, Chris Haymeyer's done pretty good stuff with Campbell. Jason Brown is still over at the Spectrum in Charlotte and continues to do good work. Matt Trent's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, just waiting for a big job for him.
Man, I miss Matt Trent. He was a funny fella. He was a good guy.
I was just looking. He had told me something about one of his coworkers, so I had to go look up their bio just to see if this person that I envisioned could actually do the horrible things that he was saying. And so on their station website, they actually asked them questions in their bio. And, of course, Matt is as snarky as possible in his bio question asking. It was just hilarious. It had me laughing pretty good. So if you want to go check that out, just Google Matt Trent, Baton Rouge TV, and it should pop up. But
all right. I'll do some of that reading later today.
Yeah, Matt is still Matt. His social media footprint isn't so big anymore. He got banned from Twitter at some point. And, had his big argument with, what's his name, the Jaguars quarterback. And so,
again, my kind of guy. This is all reasons why I like Matt Trent.
Yeah. So Matt's done really well. And so, yeah, we've had a few people that have done, pretty decent. Obviously, Ariel's more national. But yeah, life is, I can't complain. Derek Bain, my longest tenured person. is the sports director and kind of moving into news anchoring out in Iowa where he is. So he's doing really well in his hometown. So no, everybody that I've worked with, I think has done pretty good stuff or gone on to do pretty good things.
That's awesome, and a lot of them still in sports, maybe not necessarily doing the sports news TV thing. And you see a lot of that, Brian, now I feel like, and maybe it's always been this way, but there are a lot of number two guys out here that I get to know and get them on the show, form a working relationship and some friendships with. And some of those guys stay in it a lot, get out of it. And I've seen that with like ECU marketing and people just getting into different lines of work outside of what they were kind of going to do. Like Maskovich and Alex Walker are still in it. Chris Obarski, an example I thought of, formerly of WITN, got out of the business. So I don't know. Some stay, some go. Maybe, right. I don't know. Is it different than it used to be, Brian? I mean, you and Bailey and even Weaver were able to get your, sports director jobs somewhat early on in your careers, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all worked hard for it, and, there's luck that goes into it. You have to be at the right place at the right time. I would have stayed in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I was there 6 years. I loved it. It was my college town. I tried to get out for the longest time, and when I finally said, you know what, this is a great place to live, I'll stay, that's when the job offer came open at New Bern, and when I looked at it, I just didn't know when my sports director was ever going to leave. J.J. Davis, who's still a great friend, but I said, if I'm ever going to run my own department at 28, I need to go to New Bern, and I'll go there for 5 years, and I'll see what's next. And then 25 years later, I'm still waiting to see what's next. But, you put yourself in those positions, and I'll tell you, the hardest thing in this business is to have a family. I know Obarski wanted to be a family man and wanted to have more normal hours, and so that's kind of the hard part is when I spent 20-plus years in this business, working the late nights and the weekends and the holidays and putting everything on hold for the job. But then when the right person and the family comes along, you have to make some decisions. And so that's kind of the hardest part is if you want to have a quote-unquote normal life outside of TV, trying to figure that whole thing out.
Yeah, Brian, we've had this discussion a few times here of recently. It kind of came up, Marcus Crandall and I talking to guys like we were talking to Carlister Crumpler Sr., but kind of talking about guys that just came here to East Carolina, came to this region for a reason, and then stuck around, just stayed. And like Mike Steele, former ECU basketball coach, Mac McCarthy, living around here, Rick Smith, football coach. We were just coming up with examples of people like that. And like we've talked to it with Bailey. He's had some chances to leave, and I'm sure you have as well, Brian. But you decided to kind of plant your roots there in Eastern North Carolina, in New Bern, I guess, right?
Let's make this clear. I never had a chance to leave. No one ever wanted me outside.
That can't be true.
I just kind of said, you know what? They don't hate me here, so I might as well just stay and enjoy the ride. And for me, I've always been a be where your feet are kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I've sent a few tapes out. We all dreamed of ESPN at one time. But I've always been happy with the job I have, and looking for a job is a full-time job. Now, that's what happened with this job. Somebody came after me, and every time I've sent a tape, no one's ever called me back. So I've never had success looking, so I've always been kind of happy with the job I'm at. And never thought I was good enough to go get a job, so I better work hard keeping the job I have. So that's kind of was always what I looked at. Now, every now and then, like somebody a couple weeks ago offered me a pretty cool position with their company. It was just talk, but it was flattering. So it's nice to have that, but it's rare that happens.
Yeah. Brian North joining us, Pirate Radio Live Line here on, another guy that got out of the sports business. So when I came to Pirate Radio, I kind of took over Josh Spence's role here at Pirate Radio, and I remember Josh was telling me about the show he did and the guests he had on, and one of his regular guests was Brian North, and he was like, this guy is great to talk to, knows a little bit about everything, and good conversationalist. I would recommend calling him early on. So I did, and I don't even know if we skipped a week. Josh left, I started doing a show, and Brian was on and been doing it ever since. He's another guy that got out of it, Brian, but it's kind of how the whole Brian North Clip Rock conversations weekly started.
Life is amazing sometimes when that happens. And we go back to Chris Haymeyer, who we mentioned, who was a weekend sports guy for me for 2 years, then went to be the Kinston Indians voice. Now, Chris met somebody later in life and had some kids, and while he's still occasional voice of the Campbells, he's kind of been punted up the athletic director chain, and he's taking more administration and teaching classes now, and he's made that adjustment. He's made Bowie's Creek his home, and so that's been pretty cool for him. So life is all about adjustments and audibles and kind of getting everything that you want both personally and professionally. Doesn't always mean you make it to the major leagues or the upper level. It's just being happy with where you are doing what you're doing. And I think if Clip Brock stayed at Pirate Radio the rest of his life, everybody would be happy because we'd be better for it because, you know, you do a great job and you kind of enjoy those who excel at what they do and hope you can take advantage of them as long as possible.
Brian North joining us, and enjoy talking with Brian North about sports and whatever else we can come up with on a bit of a slight sports weekend. Are you following Omaha at all? You got rooting interest for the underdog, Oral Roberts, or I don't know, any local guys, Brian? You following that?
Wake Forest mostly because it's been such a great story since 1955. Tom Walter, the head coach, gave a kidney to a player many years ago. I mean, that's how invested that guy is in his program, and they're just so deep. And so Wake Forest has been a fun story to watch so far. You know, UVA, because of the connection with ECU, I'll keep an eye on them. Love the underdogs with Oral Roberts. And I'm always invested in Omaha. That's a place I've been to a couple times. I haven't been to the new stadium, the Schwab. I haven't been there since Rosenblatt. But love the environment, love the atmosphere, love the stories around it. So, no, I'll definitely be keeping his watch of that as much as I can.
U.S. Open going on out in L.A. I guess the big golf news since the last time we chatted, Brian, is LIV Tour and PGA and World Tour all kind of coming together in the same umbrella. I still don't understand what that means and how golf is going to look a year or two from now with schedules and who's playing in what. So I guess I'll just kind of wait and see on that. But I don't know. It does kind of show that if there's a right or a wrong decision, at least financially, Harold Varner made the right decision financially from the start. But now that if they are all coming back together, makes him and those guys kind of look even smarter, right?
Yeah, the whole thing is all these decisions are about money, right? And so the LIV Golf Tour won. That's all they ever wanted was to be accepted by the PGA. The PGA tried to hold out. They couldn't do it financially. So, no, it's, look, do you tarnish it? A guy like Harold Varner, did he really tarnish his reputation by going to the LIV Tour? I mean, maybe if Phil Mickelson does, maybe some of these other guys, but I don't know how much Harold made, but winning the one tournament, he makes $4 million, and the only problem with those guys is they probably can't wear shorts again when they come back.
Yeah. I was wondering, do you have a happy medium and maybe they wear capris or something? Like,
I've always said to do things in golf, let them wear shorts and let the fans scream at them like you do a normally sporting event. I would love to see those changes.
Absolutely. Just you're on the 18th putting and the crowd's doing chants and doing Cameron crazy stuff at you.
Yeah. The Noonan chant would be
Noonan.
Yep. So I'm curious to see what there was talk about team events and what's going to happen. Look, it's funny that the commissioner, what's his name, Moynihan, the stress got to him this week. He had to take a vacation, stuffed with all that Saudi money in his back pocket. So, all about money, brother. All about.
God, I would love to have that stress just for one day, one weekend. You know?
Yeah, death threats against you. Okay, let me just take my $1 billion they just handed me, and I'll just go somewhere else for a while.
I'm scared to go on the yacht. They might find me out there. I guess I'll go in my mansion bunker that I have in another country.
Rich get richer, man.
Yeah. Brian, Nuggets win the series. I think Bam Adebayo won at least for people that maybe only watch the playoffs, only watch the NBA Finals. You don't know a lot about the Heat. You don't know a lot about Bam. I think he's a winner because, man, he was really good in this series against the Nuggets despite losing.
Averaged a double-double. The problem is the guy he was guarding a lot averaged a triple-double.
Yeah.
Bam has been great. It's just, I don't know if he's that number 2 scorer that Heat need to win. He's probably a good number 3 option, but they need to find that number 2. Scoring was the problem. Defense, they played great. They just couldn't score enough.
North, always enjoy the chat, man. What you got planned for the weekend with the fam?
And get healthy. I've just been dealing with the crud going around.
Yeah. I got a little crud as well. You know when you get, what is it, like maybe a sinus infection where everything kind of smells the same, that bad... You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I think I got that going on.
I got, whether it's bronchitis or pneumonia, who knows. I have a theory. One of my wife's coworkers went to Australia about a month ago, and she came back with some sort of kangaroo flu, and no one's been right since. So I blame her on that. But it's been it's been rough, man. It's rattling when you talk. You know how that is. You get season and go into coughing fits. So hopefully just trying to get healthy this weekend.
All right. Heal up, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for joining us today, Brian. See you, man.
You got it. You got it, Clipper.
Brian North joining us, Pirate Radio Live Line here on a Friday. We'll take a break, come back, wrap up hour number 1. Oral Roberts has the lead, a 2-run, 2-out shot to give them a 2-1 lead over TCU.
Backside, Appa Guapo for number 12, Onions.
A lot of mustaches going on with Oral Roberts. That was a good call there, Chandler. That was good. We'll wrap up hour 1. Tony Dunn coming up hour 2. More to go after this. Is that Trey Robertson?
You pack your bag, you take control. You move it into my heart and into my soul. Get out of my way.
Here at Brown & Wood with Jeff Stein. It's summertime, and Jeff, you guys have a new car wash.
We do. We put in a brand new car wash just for the customer. So when you come in, get your vehicle serviced, we wash, dry, vacuum your car for free. It's state-of-the-art, but free to the customer.
And this summer, you have an AC special.
It's summertime. Air conditioning units are breaking left and right. But guess what? At Brown & Wood, all summer, I have free diagnostics on all air conditioning issues. Only at Brown & Wood.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Serving those who serve is a lifelong mission, one that Budweiser supports with Folds of Honor. Together, they've been helping military families for over 13 years by funding life-changing scholarships. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for families for American heroes. Grab a case of Budweiser today at your favorite local retailer. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing, supporting our military veterans and the Pirate Nation since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear is your one-stop shop to help promote your business and always provide superior customer service. No matter what apparel you need for your team or customers, University Sportswear can make it happen. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. University Sportswear, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Go Pirates!
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growitpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
And if the elevator shines will break you down.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that uses fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the Dickinson Avenue Public House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy dollar oysters Tuesday through Thursday from 5:30 to 7. And for more details, check out daphousenc.com. Now let's step back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right. I do realize we're a break behind, Shirley.
Yes, I know.
So we'll either find a spot to get it in, or we'll do Chandler and I's favorite thing, which is our live reads of the commercials at the end of the show to talk about our great sponsors. I'm going to go see one of our great sponsors tonight because I want to get my hands on a $12 bacon and onion pizza from Familia.
I saw that was the pizza of the week, and man, did I enjoy the pizza of the week last week. If you missed out, you missed out.
Buffalo
chicken pizza.
Yeah.
At Familia was phenomenal this week. It is the onion and bacon, like Clip said. So go and take advantage of a great deal. Pizza of the week each and every week. Check them out on social media at Familia. That's Familia.
You need to go there. My son is waiting tables there tonight. So
ask for Michael.
Hey, go sit down and tip him, man. Our family could use it.
Help out the Dunn fam. Pike with a good question on YouTube. Chandler, where do you take your darling this weekend?
What do you mean by darling?
The one that we had to pay for.
I don't think he's referring to that, but that is a good reference. I don't know. Do you have a darling?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
I've watched
I can
that
always
Paul
go
Pierce.
online, though, and find a girlfriend of the day.
Findagirlfriend.com.
Oh, Shirley's on the phone. Shirley, do we still have Paul Pierce from last week, or did you delete that? Paul Pierce #1.
I've listened to it like 7 times.
Oh, since
actually, you know what? You have to watch the video.
Yeah,
it's like 900 times better.
I know.
And the best, there is this one spot clip where he's like, Kevin Garnett goes, "Tell me later, P. Tell me later, P." And you look at Paul Pierce, and he's like, "I gotta tell him." And he looks like a kid. He's like, "I gotta tell him."
All right, yeah, just hit #1 real quick, where he's talking about. I think it's #1. Hit it.
Kevin.
Camille.
Hey, how you doing? Camille, nice to meet you. Formula One everywhere, ain't it? Formula One everywhere. This is my girlfriend for the day. They got a website that you can hire girlfriends for the day. Stop, man. And so I got a girlfriend. Stop, man. Stop. You can hire girlfriends for the day. Stop, man. I went on the website and I hired a girlfriend for the day. Look, Collins. There go Collins. Look at D-Wayne every game.
Can to change the subject.
You can start that website. This is a live stream, We're live. We're streaming. Whatever you're saying, they can hear you.
So, Chandler.
Shout out to everybody who joined us.
And you know what? I feel bad for that girl because he's calling
No,
her
you
out.
don't. If you saw her on this side, she was totally, that's what she was there for. She was there taking
Get her Instagram numbers up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
don't feel sorry for her. Feel sorry for Kevin Garnett. Who was trying to do his best.
Hey, we live. We're live on air.
Or the guy that almost got beat down for not throwing a lighter.
All right, couple of things. TCU just tied it up 2-2. I just explained to Joey why Chandler is a sports guy, and I can't take it away from him. But God, I want to take it away so bad because
it's an honest mistake.
But it's a non-sports guy mistake. We're watching the game. Guy hits a home run. Chandler points to it. It's a replay. You can't do that.
I'm sorry, man.
But you're a sports guy. We signed the contract.
I wasn't paying attention, and I looked.
Exactly.
I mean, he's only trying to do a radio show.
And look, and I don't want to.
Cut him a break.
I don't want to expose myself. Definitely don't want to do that. But it happens a lot, especially at sports bars. It happens a lot at tiebreakers during the football season.
I know.
Where I think that something's happening, and then they show it. It's halftime. They're showing the first half highlights.
Here's one difference, though. There are 12 TVs, 8 games going on at once. This is the only game happening.
I know.
On the only TV.
I know. And I probably should have known that it was a replay because the bug wasn't up there. I don't know.
Exactly.
I look up. See, but
that's a good sports guy tendency to have there.
I don't know if this ever happens to you, but what happens when you're at a sports bar and you call out a replay and it turns out that it was a replay and not the game? That's the Chandler move. 3 minutes later, he's like, have you guys ever talked about that? Yeah, we just talked about it, Chandler.
So you're sorry, I didn't follow that. At all.
Yeah, I don't get what you're saying.
Are you saying that is an example of like Chandler's repeating stuff?
Chandler, like 3 minutes later, will be like, have you guys ever talked about this?
Right. Chandler is living.
I was trying to pull a Chandler on the back of a Chandler. It didn't work.
Somehow the wires are crossed. Chandler's living like 3 or 4 minutes behind the rest of us. He's trying to catch up. And you do a good job. But you are right now, it's 4:04 in your world. We're at 4:07, 4:08.
We're on break.
Yeah. So this is how my life is. You ever watch the news? You ever watch Sports Center, or they go out live to somebody and they say, well, how are things down there over there, Jeff? Jeff's like...
It's the WITN.
Yeah, the delay going?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right here, Jeff.
Great. That's how I live my life.
You're just on a few minutes of a delay.
We have Chandler to cut on the scene. Chandler, how are things there in Greenville? Laughing at the joke that he said 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, Charles, I'm here.
Yeah, Charles, everything's great down here.
Hey, I think you have accomplished quite a bit to have that disability. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's awesome.
To make it to where you have is pretty impressive. There you go. Keep it up.
Yes, Clip, it is pretty impressive.
Keep it up.
Done.
All right, so
well done.
You're done.
That's
oh, hey,
somebody's hot. Heat on up, man.
Did you write that joke?
Get hot. He wrote that one yesterday. I had it ready to
4 minutes ago.
Tony, do we have any current stuff to talk about? If not, I have some non-current stuff.
Not really. No, not especially. Is that I guess it's just Brian Burns. We talked about him moving to number 0 last week. So yeah, that's about it.
And you don't like it. Hey, let's do this.
I think I've changed my mind.
So Joey, you met Joey, right?
Yeah,
he's doing a great job.
Joey,
y'all are both in the big hair, in the great hair club. By the way, his name is Joey. It's Jowi.
Oh, so it's not. So
it's not Joey. It's Joey.
You can say it like it's normally said.
No,
Joey.
no, Joey. No, Joey. It's not like that.
It's like if you phonetically spelled a Yankee accent.
But
Joey.
There you go, Puerto Rican. So you're not far off.
The real problem is we need to change the way we've been saying Joey our whole lives. Joey. It's hard not to put that W in there, though, right?
Joey. I don't know.
Think about that tonight.
I bet you this is the first time he's ever heard this. Somebody just talk about that.
Oh, no, it happens all the time. I promise you.
And he's tired of it, but we're going to keep it going. All right, so what was I going to say? Oh,
Brian Burns changing his number to 0.
And Joey likes it. Tony didn't like it because Tony's an old man, but
I think I'm changing.
You're coming around.
Because I'm starting to think of him as an outside linebacker now. Exactly. So it's like it's not thinking so much in the defensive front end. And he kind of fits his frame nice. And he kind of looks like almost the super emblem on his chest, like towards the Spider-Man.
I like how he plays on the whole Spider-Man role. And not only is he one of our best player, if not our best player.
And he
Gives
even
an X factor to him, you know.
And he even mentioned this when he talked to the media right after he changed his number. And he said in that comment, he said a lot of it has to do with being in sort of a new position in this new defense with Evero or whatever his name is. He said, because I'm going to be standing up, I'm going to be on the edge, and I think that just kind of fits that mold of the player I'm going to be. So I mean, I think it looks good, and I think, like you said, it's kind of like it's
form fitting, and it looks like it reminds the Spider-Man's got the spider right on his chest, and I won't say it looks like a spider, but it just makes me visually think of that.
Yeah, definitely, you can make that connection.
I wonder
like it looks slick.
I wonder what Joe Horn is sitting there going is like, man, back in my day when we celebrated, we would have shot weapons out. Imagine, because Joe Horn used to pull the cell phone out. Imagine that he'd probably like, man, if you could use props.
He would actually have like the webs on his wrist or whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of Joe Horn, can his son please stay healthy?
No.
Tony's going with the injury-prone tag on
this is what's wild is on the podcast we just over-talk everything, right? It's like, that's the whole point of it, I guess. And then, so people are like, oh, I think it's a difference between being injury-prone and having soft tissue injuries versus breaks. And then it's like all of these like little incremental differences between injury-prone, bad luck, and now I found a way to appease everybody. It's just he's not all right. So he's not injury prone, might not be bad. He's just got accident prone. It's just accident.
He needs a handler. He needs a helper.
Random accidents. Broke his foot. Non-contact. Rolled his ankle training. You know, got his hand squished in a helmet.
Now, the foot that he is out for right now, is it the same one?
I've heard no. And then my other question is about another injury prone player or person, and that is Dante Jackson. And I hadn't thought about this. Is I asked Joe Person on Twitter, he never responded back, is the turf toe and because he suffered an Achilles injury, are those on the same foot or are they different? You know, so these are all things we want to, I guess, know about these people's medical histories.
Yeah, injuries are a tough discussion because we're fat guys sitting around calling a guy soft, basically.
Ooh, no. I wouldn't say soft. I say this. Sometimes
when you call a guy injury prone, you always get hurt. It sounds like you're calling a guy soft, whether you are or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think they push their bodies so far to the limit. It's like a rubber band that could just like snap it.
So you're calling them too hard.
Yeah, they're like working too much, maybe. Maybe they should chill out. You know, Christian McCaffrey looked like he was going to explode out of his skin at some point. You know, I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what it is. He's accident prone. He's just unavailable at this moment. How about that? He's a great player when he's on the field, they say, but I never see him on the field.
There's no way there's a way, but are there more injuries now than there were 40 or 50 years ago? Or is it that we were more careful and we have more doctors to maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember hearing ACL, and I wasn't around, but like reading about ACL injuries in the 70s and 80s like we do
because they were just like smoking cigarettes and drinking Budweiser.
They just called it like a knee contusion.
I was just going to say, back in the day, they probably just played on most of these.
Yeah, and you just didn't diagnose it, and you play and just see what happens. So
it is. I mean, the way people train and what they're pushing their bodies to do is far different than it was in 1970.
I feel like I know what you're doing here.
But
recently, I saw on Facebook you won some award for the gym that you go to, and you want me to bring it up and talk about it.
No.
Honestly, have I told you congrats on that?
That was 2 months ago, though.
It was not.
It was a month ago. Month and a half.
That's how long I've been waiting to tell you, and I keep forgetting every time I see you. But that was cool. What'd you do? What'd you get?
I rode an assault bike. It's like the farthest in 1 minute out of the whole gym. By the way, folks,
I'm all for Americans having bikes, but I don't think we should have assault bikes.
No, they're brutal. They're
what is an assault bike?
Does it beat you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Does it have guns on the side?
Does this bike literally have hands?
It's just got a big fan, man. It's just a fan, and it's like it's not a bike that you can like change the resistance on. It's just naturally awful.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not like them old exercise bikes where you could like turn that little knob and juice it up. It's just like if you go slow, it stinks. If you go fast, it stinks. It assaults your legs.
But you assaulted the assault bike.
I did all right on that one. I didn't win the jump rope contest this past 2 weeks ago, and I was really down about that because I like to jump rope.
All right.
It's actually very hard to jump rope for a minute.
Good workout.
Yeah, insane.
I always wanted to jump rope like a boxer. You know, you see those videos.
The double, I can't get that. The double.
Man. Eric said assault bikes don't need any baseball cards in the spokes.
No, they don't. No more.
Jamie said people are stronger and faster now, working out more, so hurts more injuries. It's like Brian Arakpo used to tear his pec every time he'd lift weights.
I think you can play. You could have played through things more in the past, and not that you weren't hurt. It's just like now, if you are a hair slow, you're getting smoked. And I wonder if like fast guys, you know, I don't know. They were not just crazy athletic, and I don't want to say like you're saying, as we're a couple fat guys sitting around. We don't want to talk junk about people in the '70s who were out there playing football. I still wouldn't have been able to do it then, but. It is like they've been training since they were 8.
Right.
Bryce Young has had a personal quarterback coach, I think, since he was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're right. And back then, like we talk about it leading up to football seasons now where high schools have training programs. Parents are putting their kids in it younger and younger. Like back then,
I just wanted my own baseball bat.
You probably didn't. If you were an athlete, you might have ran outside or something. But you weren't training until you got to your school or.
It has probably only been the last 20 years, to be honest. You know, I mean, since maybe around. I mean, since we got to the 2000s and beyond. I mean, because we were in high school in the 90s, and I mean. I don't remember it being well. Now there's like there's all these places around town that you can go hire someone to be a baseball pitching coach or something for everybody. So we do push harder, but I mean, everything is professional now too. So who knows how that contributes to injuries? I think when coming back to J.C. Horn, and let's just kind of instead of just vaguely talking about the changes and injuries over time, it's just like when you get one injury. I've heard this from some players where you start compensating a little bit. So if like, all right, so I got up my hammies a little strained or something, so I'm kind of nursing that, and then because I'm compensating for that injury, it leads to like my another injury, and so you just wonder.
I got a great fact.
They're like
story about
complementary injuries. Complimentary injury.
When I was at Disney World last time and wore the wrong shoes and my foot started hurting terribly. So I had to adjust the way I walked. And then 2 days later, my other foot hurt worse than the hurt foot.
Yes.
That's my unathletic fat guy. I can relate to these athletes, folks.
Totally.
Because of something like that. All right, let's take a break. Tony, today we are going to, if you can, God, this will be tough for me. But if you can, put all biases aside and you can't choose the Panthers. You're going to choose what team, if you could have their whole history, and you can brag about that, talk junk to your friends about it, you have their whole history and you're a fan today. That's question one. What team would you pick in the NFL?
Got it.
Question two, since your football watching life started, which for you was what year? The Julius Peppers?
Yep, 01.
So since 01 to now, what team would you choose to be a fan of? And then...
You mean non-Panther or...
Non-Panther.
Okay.
Unbiased. And then question three is, for the next 7 years, you get to pick a team to be a fan of. Who's got a window open right now? And what team would you pick? So we'll do that. When we return, Pirate Radio Live, that's how we have a meeting on the air. Back with you after this.
There's nothing like holding a freshly grilled Jersey Mike's cheesesteak. It's even better than holding a winning $1 million lottery ticket. For starters, Uncle Sam takes half. Then you buy some useless stuff, like a tiny suit of armor for your cat. And before you know it, your sister's cousins and Uncle Frankie come knocking on your door for handouts. Bing, bang, boom, you're back to zero. So if you want to play a winning number, order a number 17 Mike's Famous Philly. Freshly grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. a sub above.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offers over 50 years of experience.
To get started, call me, Joanne Weir, at 531-1148.
Joanne Weir, in MLS 75974. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender in MLS 208516.
The Sidebar is the place to be this summer in downtown Greenville. Have a date night or get the family together for dinner starting at 5:30 Tuesday through Saturday. Or take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food around for lunch Thursday through Saturday from 11:30 to 2:30. And on Sundays, enjoy a delicious summer brunch from 11 to 2. Visit the Sidebar today, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House. To keep up with their ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville. Go Pirates!
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. University Sportswear is your one-stop shop to help promote your business and always provide superior customer service. No matter what apparel you need for your team or customers, University Sportswear can make it happen. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. University Sportswear, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Go Pirates!
Celebrating a special grad but no time to cook? Why not let Jimmy John's cater your graduation party? Enjoy Jimmy John's famous Mini Jimmys in 12, 18, or 30-piece party packs made to order with fresh-baked bread, hand-sliced meats, and local veggies, and delivered right to you. Whether you have a few guests or a few hundred, Jimmy John's will make your graduation gathering an A-plus event. Jimmy John's, open 7 days a week in Greenville and Wilson. Order now on the Jimmy John's app or online at jimmyjohns.com.
This is Garrett Saylor, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Christie's Europub is the perfect place to relax, grab a bite, and enjoy a drink. Located in the heart of Greenville and just a few blocks from ECU's campus, Christie's offers lunch, dinner, and late night with live music every Sunday. Come and have lunch Monday through Friday from 11 to 3 or Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 4. For the latest information, check Christie's out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit christieseuropub.com. Scratch cooking takes time, so relax and enjoy a pint today at Christie's Europub. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. TCU runner on first, nobody out in the 7th inning, as it is a 2-2 game in Omaha. Game 1 of the College World Series on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, presented by Da Buck. do a quick check-in. Still waiting on some of yesterday's leaders to tee off today. They're playing out in Los Angeles, so some later tee-off times. We have a new leader, though. Wyndham Clark is 9 under par. Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele about to tee off. Scotty Scheffler later this hour. Bryson DeChambeau either about to get underway or is underway. So you still got some big names who have not began their round today. John Rahm is another. So be some night golf going on tonight once we're done here at Pirate Radio Live. Also, Virginia and Florida coming up tonight in Omaha. All right, Tony Dunn here. So here's today's question. We're going to set aside our fandoms that we currently have, and we're kind of like doing a draft, but we're all going to pick our number one. And the first question is, if you could take a team to be a fan of for their entire history, so you get all the rings, you get in the argument at the bar, you can go to whatever you want to and say, this is my team, they've always been my team. Tony, you said this was an easy answer. I thought it was too, so I'm interested to see if we have the same one. But we'll go ahead and start with you. Who do you got?
Mine's the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay. Let's go around the horn, and then we'll explain our answers. Who you got, Chandler?
Mine was the 49ers.
Okay. Joey, who you got?
I'm thrown off of 49ers, I'm not going to lie.
I don't have the Niners either.
Personally?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Make sure you're talking to the mic, Joey.
Got you. For their history.
You get the whole history. Who's the best? Basically, I'm asking who has the best franchise in football history that's still around today.
I don't like making this pick, genuinely, as a Panther fan, but I'll take Patriots.
Okay, all right. I'm going. I thought it was easy. I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, that's a good one.
Because, and I'll explain. I mean, you got just look at games today. And look at their home games, obviously. Look at the road games and how many towels invade. Look at the past with the Steel Curtain, the Big Ben era. They freaking never have a losing record. Like, that is a franchise I would like to be associated with. I could go to the past. I could somewhat go to the present. We'll see what Pickett does. But I'm going Steelers. You went Niners, and I understand why. Rich history and their
Super Bowls.
Well,
they don't have a lot of down years either.
Well, I think, too, the difference and why I would pick them still over the Pittsburgh Steelers is that, and this is clearly before our time, is the Pittsburgh had that run in the late 70s, I believe. And there was some questions about, like, how good Bradshaw really was. Was this team that great? And I don't know. I don't know the details of it, but I know for certain those San Francisco 49ers teams with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and then Steve Young, like they were great. They were great. Yeah. So there's no argument that somebody's going to make one day in the bar and say, "Oh, well, Bradshaw wasn't that good of a quarterback." You're not ever going to say that about Joe Montana. You're never going to say that about Jerry Rice, and that's it. Like I think hands down. And now they're relevant again.
They are.
They are relevant.
They've had dips like every NFL franchise has, but they have been consistent winners.
Yeah, and then I don't know, and I never really liked Ben Roethlisberger as a person.
Yeah, I get that. That's fine. He won one Super Bowl. The Steelers
was it two? He only had one. Yeah, he got two because he got one as rookie.
He won really early on.
His rookie, I think he won as a rookie,
and then beat the Cardinals. Santonio Holmes catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, he has his 2 rings. All right, so Steelers, Niners, and you said Patriots, which gets us to question 2. In your football-watching life, who would you be a fan of? I mean, that is an obvious answer. It's got to be the Patriots, right, Tony?
For the last 22.
I'm going since 95. You're going since 02 or whatever, 01, whatever you said. I mean, who else would you take? There is no other option.
What if could I not pick a team and just pick one person? Andy Reid. And like, I'll cheer for Philly with Andy Reid, and now I'm on the Kansas City Andy Reid. Like, I mean,
you can.
It's like that the NFC and then the AFC Andy Reid. Like, I mean, they're almost the same team.
But you would have been sick of it, like not winning a Super Bowl for all those years.
Right. Yeah.
You would have got tired of it. But I mean, that's
a good point.
That's a good example, I guess.
I don't think of anybody else that's had any. I mean, maybe the Steelers are in there for the last 20 years. They've been, like you said, they've won. They've had some Super Bowls in there, and they've been consistent throughout.
Another good one, I think, is, and again, I think Patriots is Chandler. Who was you?
Green Bay.
Since 2011, the Patriots.
And then, is there any other options?
I was gonna say,
I have another option.
The Seahawks, for me, because maybe I guess when you get more mature and you really start learning about football, it was about 2014, 2015 for me. And
Legion of Boom.
So yeah, Legion of Boom. You got Russell Wilson. You got Marshawn Lynch. That for me was fun.
What about the Peyton Manning Colts?
Yeah, and you had some luck in there too, but. Yeah,
how about
this
the
one?
Patriots?
It is the Patriots, but
I'm gonna just be honest. I cheered for the Patriots one year, and that was the year that not like I cheered for them above the Panthers or anything, but I cheered for them when Randy Moss went there, and I traded for Randy Moss, and he was still in Oakland, and I gave like a 4th round pick, and then he got traded to the Patriots that same year. And guess who I had drafted as a quarterback? Tom Brady. So that run where they were almost undefeated, my fantasy team, I didn't even have to start other players, dude. I just put in my quarterback in Randy Moss and just steamrolled everybody. So I was kind of rooting for them to have that undefeated season that year. Randy, man. And I love Randy Moss is one of my top players, maybe top 3 players of another team that I love the most. And I was just watching his highlights 2 days ago clip. And I think when you go back and watch his highlights, you just don't even know how good he is because it doesn't look hard.
He has on his birthday every year, I see a highlight tape that's put out of his 50-plus yard receptions. Not his entire career highlights. It's only 50-plus yard catches.
Like 4.5 minutes.
It's longer than that. It's crazy. And he's amazing.
He didn't have to. He just ran straight.
Yep, and threw his hand up. He put the hand up.
It was awesome to watch. He was
every
so
time
tall.
He caught a ball, there was always at least 2 guys around him, maybe 3 sometimes. Like it wasn't like he was one-on-one.
Yeah. There kind of is an argument that he's the best receiver ever, but I mean, then
you look at Jerry Rice's numbers.
Yeah, and then you just say
the reason we say that Jerry Rice did not look like he should be the best receiver ever.
How did he do all that for so long? I mean, in a time too where it's not like you were passing the ball as much as they are today, but the numbers, Jerry Rice's numbers are kind of like Wayne Gretzky's numbers, where it's just like so far. It's the Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. Like, I saw this thing, and it was on VHS when I was like 9. And it was like the Wilt Chamberlain game was not a 100-point game, and somebody put an extra 0 up or something, and so it seems so absurd to think you could score 100 points in a game that somebody can just question its reality. That's how Jerry Rice's numbers are.
All right, the Patriots are the answer for the question we're talking about, but since my watching in 95 started, another team I think it would be a good example is the Ravens. Every year they're in the playoffs, they've won 2 Super Bowls in that time and are always consistently good. Even when they're bad, they're good. They're pretty good. Playoffs every year.
You're right.
So I think they're
since Harbaugh took over. Well, no, it was even before Harbaugh, right? Who was there? They had the guy.
So great 30 for 30. If you missed it, which I did for a while, the Bullies of Baltimore is an awesome 30 for 30. I think you'd like it too, Tony. That was around the time you started watching. I didn't realize Brian Billick was such a hilarious a-hole. He was a grade A butthole.
Really?
Talk junk. All the they got great behind the scenes clips. I forgot about this, but they played the Titans. That was a huge rivalry for a couple years. And he
do you like him more or less after this?
I like him more because I like junk talkers. But so he's like, one thing we're going to do after they beat the Titans on their field, and Sports Illustrated had the Titans are the best team in the NFL. He said, one thing we are going to do is respect our opponent. We're going to shake their hand. We're going to say you're a good team. We're going to do that. And then he said, all right, cut all the cameras off. Cut all the cameras off. And paused, and he's like, F the Titans! Let's get everybody went crazy. Those mother effers! Like, it just went off on him, and that was the kind of guy he
And
was.
somebody left the camera on.
Oh yeah, there was no.
It's off.
There's no video of it, but it's all audio of him saying all this stuff. It was great. All right, now
Jamal Lewis.
Yep, 2,000-yard season. Sold a lot of weed.
Did he?
Was it weed? Let's see, Jamal Lewis.
Oh, I got a cool story about that too.
I think it was
not about the weed, but a football player and like kind of bizarre.
Oh yeah, a little cocaine on him as well. Oh, it looks like it was just cocaine. Anyway, it was a whole lot of drugs. I do remember that. But he could run the football. All right, next 7 years, pick a team to be a fan of because you think they're going to win multiple Super Bowls, be in the running for a Super Bowl every year. Who do you got?
Buffalo Bills.
They're an option. They're on the table.
Carolina Panthers, baby.
I was waiting for my pick, man.
All right, y'all are excluded from this chat. I'll just talk to you.
We can't pick the Panthers then.
Come on, guys.
But as long as Sean McDermott is the head man in Buffalo, I feel like they're always going to have a strong defense. Defense wins championships games.
I know.
Well, and also you're going to have Josh Allen as your quarterback.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I agree with your first statement when you brought in the defense. I was going to say, okay, keep McDermott, but Josh Allen leaves. Then what do you got? But you said defense, so I'll give you that point.
Yeah,
point Chandler.
As long as Sean McDermott is their coach, I'm relying on their defense to win them championships. And then you look at the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
You look at Josh Allen,
Madden cover boy,
Stephon Diggs, and I think that the Buffalo Bills could be a place for a lot of these top wide receivers in the league. That could be a top landing spot. At least a top 3, a top 5 landing spot in the league for some of these top wide receivers who are testing free agency. So I think you have hope there to build on from that duo in Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. So
Tony, who are you taking other than the Panthers?
You know, it's going to sound hypocritical, and I really feel sorry that I did this. I turned my back on a Paisan one time. I got to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
I doubted, man, an Italian dude coaching a football team, head coach of a pro football team. Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
He likes to mix it up too. He'll talk on the sidelines.
He got the cool look. He always, now he's in the press conferences and he's gone so far and he's had success. Now he believes like he doesn't have to like humble himself.
Oh no.
And he wears a visor with a pin on the forward look and the tip, and it's like a marker or something. He's my Paisan.
All right.
And Jalen Hurts.
They have an insane roster. They have a talented young quarterback. I think that's a good call. Joey?
I'm stuck between two teams, but I'll go with what I feel will win the championship more than the other. It's got to be the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's
another option.
That's a great one. Joe Burrow is the coldest dude in the world.
I mean, yeah.
The weapons on that offense: T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. You got Joe Mixon. I mean,
T. Higgins is going to go off this year with that jersey change. I'm telling you right now.
His number, his college number, right?
Yeah. The other team was going to be either the Dolphins, but I'm not big on Tua. I'm going to be honest.
I thought about them too. Maybe I'm outside the box here, but I'm taking the Jaguars. A, because I like Lawrence and the roster they've assembled. But B, what are the other teams in that division doing right now? We'll see what Stroud is in Houston, but and who knows, Anthony Richardson. But are we really counting on them guys to be elite? You got the Titans in there as well. They drafted the guy from
it's nice to have seen the
Kentucky.
Quarterback already.
Will Levis.
Yeah.
They got Will Levis. They also have Malik Willis that they took last year.
Well, we saw him.
You got Ryan Tannehill.
I don't like any of these other teams. I think the Jaguars are going to play home playoff games for the next 3 years, and all they got to do then is win a couple and you're in the Super Bowl.
And they got weapons around.
And I like their offense. I like their team.
And I'll go back to the
I like their coach, Tony, the guy that Philly fired.
Oh, he's awesome,
Peterson,
dude. Did you see that they went and played paintball together?
Yes,
we posted about that.
And he stood up and got lit up. I have one of these. If we have time, I have a hypothetical question for you.
All right.
For everybody is if you could change one play in the history of your team for the butterfly effect of what it would do differently, not just for one moment in one game even, but you could even think for the trajectory of the future, kind of like going back to the future where he gets the betting book you know, and he can go like, and he has the book that's going to tell you like, if you could change one thing that's going to butterfly effect change the world of football, what would it be?
This is going to be dark.
Okay.
So week 10, I Googled it up. Week 10, 2007, Sean Taylor was injured, and it was against the Eagles. And his injury is why he was not with the team when he was murdered.
Oh, man.
So
that would have changed his
I'm
whole
changing
life.
that play because not only do maybe those whole events don't happen, but with him on that team, he's in his prime then, he's young. Like, maybe they win a lot more. He made the team cool, and people wanted to go play there. They got Portis in a trade, but they got Santana Moss.
Blow people up,
yeah.
dude.
So that's
a good one.
I don't know if
that's
that
great.
works.
No, that one's like just a little too sad for me. But,
Yeah.
But overall, because then it makes it sound like, oh man, we could really save a life at this moment. Maybe I don't need to be.
And the Washington hasn't been close enough to be like. So in 1999, they had a field goal attempt to beat the Bucs. If they win that game, they're in the NFC Championship against the greatest show on turf, which they probably don't win that game anyway. So I would change that one just to see what would have happened in the NFC Championship. But I feel like this one, and Jerry's got a good one, and we'll get to you guys, but he says RG3 in the Seahawks game. That's a great example too, which he was already hurt, but if he didn't get even more hurt, what could happen to his career? I think that's a good one too, Jerry, for a Washington fan. All right, now we go Panthers fans. What do y'all got?
Ours is like pretty simple. It could be like any of 7 plays that
John
could have.
Casey kickoff.
I don't think we would have won.
I'm either going Cam Newton not jumping on the fumble. Well, that doesn't count because we were
Cotchery, the catch.
Cotchery's catch was going to be my next one. Either him just catching the ball where they didn't have to look at it, or them getting the call right because he caught the ball.
First down, change of field, no strip
Can I take
sack.
away the Von Miller strip sack?
Yeah, that's what it would.
Can I take away that? Because I feel like if you take away that, the momentum's not on their side. And I really think that we're Super Bowl champions if that one play doesn't happen.
For me, non-Panthers, I want to go with the.
Oh no, you can go Panthers.
I can.
Yeah.
Well, for the sake of it, just to switch.
Okay,
it up,
all right, cool.
I think everybody loves and knows this moment. They should have gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, that's a good one.
It doesn't do much for like the Patriots' legacy is still a thing, but I don't know, Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. So that would have given them, 2 Super Bowls?
That would have given them 2 Super Bowls.
They hammered the Broncos.
We would have been able to see a wonderful post-game interview from Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then maybe they would have been able to stick together a little longer. It would have changed some different things.
up.
For me, it's about 7 plays from that Super Bowl, the 2015. But I could even go one into the 2016 season. In the very first game, we played Denver on the road. Cam Newton mounts a fourth quarter comeback, drives down the field. We're down like 1 point or something. John Casey misses the field goal, and then the whole not John Casey, Graham Gano. Graham Gano misses the field goal, and then the whole 2016 season goes down the tubes. And I almost feel like beating Denver on the road would have changed the whole kind of the Cam Newton shoulder one. But from Pittsburgh in 2017, the reason I brought this up is because when I mentioned Jamal Lewis, you talked about getting in trouble and stuff like this. I just found out this story. Coney Ealy.
Mm-hmm. He could have been the Super Bowl MVP.
He had the same game, if not a better game, than Von Miller did. He was just on the losing team. So if one of those plays happens, what would have happened to Coney Ealy's life?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what I just learned is Coney Ealy had been sued, not recently, but it's been a few years now, for like some sort of dog breeding thing where the guy wanted his money back. And then I learned all this stuff about his brother. Coney Ealy's brother is named Danny Dogman Jones, and he made he made his name in St. Louis by selling pit bulls to the black mafia. Just learned all this stuff. He was shot 17 times at one point and lived.
Wow.
And I was just thinking, what is Coney Ealy's life? How differently, not that his brother wouldn't have been shot, but would he have been sued for $3,000 for a dog? I don't think so at this point. How wild is that? And that leads me to Deion Sanders. Coney Ealy's got to be his top prospect. Because remember what he said, I want my quarterback from a two-family. He'd be like, oh, you got a brother that's been shot 17 times. You've been sued for not giving somebody their $3,000 for a dog. You got a scholarship. And by the way, Deion's about to lose his foot, maybe. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, it might get amputated, right?
Yeah.
Boy, that whole story took me on roller coasters, and it really ended on one
butterfly.
The butterfly.
It just made me think about that. And
we've talked about the ECU butterfly effect a lot too, and gone over with the Ben Kurt injury, and that led to like Ruffin McNeil getting fired and everything, that the Comfort era, and where it's
if Daffer hits that field goal, we're probably national champions.
Would he be playing Madden as much? All of these things.
If Ben Kurt didn't get hurt, I think so. I think he still had that in him.
You know, he's giving lessons.
Yeah. He's making money doing something, I guess.
He's like coaching football using Madden.
And he gets jobs where he gets to go stand on the sidelines at NFL games being like the emergency quarterback. Like that happened late last year where he's like, he had to pause his Madden game to go to a real game. Not a bad gig. A couple other teams that guys mentioned being fans of for the next 7 years. There's an obvious one with the Chiefs. I mean, their window is still open.
Yeah, I mean, that's the easy answer right there.
Jerry said, I'd be reluctant to do this, but I get it. He said the Lions. He said they got a great motivator in Campbell, an explosive offense, which that came out of nowhere. The Jared Goff.
Are you saying they're trying to get there? They might have to go back on Hard Knocks.
Could be back-to-back years.
Let's take a break and talk about that. I found that interesting. Go ahead, Chandler.
I was just going to say, you kind of took words out of my mouth, but I did see that it could be back-to-back years.
Okay, well, let's table that too. We'll take a break.
Yes, we'll come back after a break.
By the time we get back from the break, Chandler will be finishing a sentence he just said. More to go on Pirate Radio Live on a Football Friday, Fifth Quarter Friday, Free Beer Friday. You want a case of Budweiser? Well, stay tuned. You can get it in hour 3. Back with you after this.
It's the summer shopping season at Brown & Wood. Here with Jeff Stein. Jeff, I've noticed a lot of great GMC pickup trucks on the lot.
Yes, sir. We have 2500s and 1500s in stock and the all-new 3.0 Duramax diesel. We earn 30 extra trucks on allocation, so go online, brownandwood.com, or stop in, build your truck, we'll get it coming for you. Brown & Wood, voted #1 by the customer in Greenville. 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
When you walk through the doors of Villa Verde, you'll experience the sights, sounds, and smells of authentic Dominican flavors. This is Jay from Villa Verde, inviting you to come by this summer and try one of our amazing empanadas. Our famous red snappers, grouper bites, seafood paella, Cuban sandwiches, and much, much more. Relax on the patio with a fresh mojito or a cold beer while enjoying one of our out-of-this-world desserts, like our rum pineapple cake or our famous stretch ledges. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good, and a proud supporter of the Pirate Nation.
Did you know that it's illegal to dig without first calling 811? 811 is a free program that locates underground utilities, marking them with flags and paint lines so you know where not to dig. Accidentally digging into utility lines interrupts service and could seriously hurt you or someone else. If you know someone who's planning to dig, encourage them to call 811 at least 3 full working days before they dig. 811 is free, it's safe, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Greenville Utilities and this station.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us and I want to invite you to attend our CG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates.
This is Dr. McGraw from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experienced and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
360 Golf Carts is Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. They have easy-go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by the 360 shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, 360 has you covered. They will even deliver right to you. Visit Brian Harris today on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Pirate Radio.
If you're going to put your name on something, it better be your best work.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Country Mart. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? We'll keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, I think I'm ready to designate another one of our viewers, listeners, as something, Chandler. So we got Johnny Gardner. He's our ECU basketball guy. We got Johnny Robertson, Johnny Stats, our stats guy. I'm gonna call Jerry our NFL historian.
Oh.
NFL historian, Jerry Vick. So tune in all season long, folks, with Jerry. Now there's pressure on you, Jerry. You got to keep it going. He had a good one, Tony, for the play you want. Okay. It's more of a game. Did you say game or play?
It could be either. Like just
you could take a play from this game. If the Houston Oilers never blow a 35-3 lead against the Bills in the playoffs, when they were all in to go to the Super Bowl. All right, so after that, team gets dismantled, ownership and stadium issues, they move to Tennessee. If they don't blow that game, maybe win a Super Bowl, put something together, everything works out there, they stay. We never have the Titans. We never have the Texans. It's a big change.
Like, would the world be better without the Texans and the Titans?
Tune in to the new season of Black Mirror where they pose that. By the way,
I've watched 2 episodes for you, Clip.
Which ones you watch?
I went back to the first season and I just skipped the one. I watched the last one that I watched was you could rewind.
Yeah. What do you think of them?
I think they take really intense human questions and explore them to the extreme.
They do, yes.
That because that whole going back and watching your own highlight reel, or how many arguments do I have with my own wife where you remember saying something, the other person remembers saying something, and the words are just so different, but it changes the whole memory. And these guys are rewinding and they're like, see, I told you. It's it's going to the tape. So
didn't they also get to see their partners
if they wanted to, if they showed it to them?
Oh, okay.
Like you couldn't just automatically
access it.
Yeah. But yeah. So
the new season, which dropped yesterday, and again, it's all different. It's all like mini movies.
Right.
In fact, there's one with Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett that came out on the new season that is an hour and 20 minutes. It's like a feature film.
Wow.
It's like it's going to be better than a lot of movies you go see at the theater. That one episode from this season. But this season's a lot different. I think they're like technology has already taken over and ruined everything, so we're going to go explore it from another angle.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different, but I love Black Mirror.
It does take really fundamental human questions and take them into
it doesn't
extreme.
leave you with a very good feeling either afterwards. It's kind of
no, they're the uncomfortable questions in some cases, like because that's what I continued to think about in this episode is like, how would this change my behavior if I could? And I always fret over things, so like I would just like that one guy was like watching the scene until with his wife flirt with some other, and he couldn't get it out of his head, and he finally just had a meltdown and yanked the chip out of his neck.
Check that out, folks.
Yeah.
Great show. All right, so you guys both mentioned that the Lions did Hard Knocks last year, and NFL Films is asking them to do it again. Why is that? Well, I feel like I've talked about this forever. Like, I don't see why any team would really agree to be on it and give people access to what they're doing. The NFL is struggling to find a team willing to do it, and they can force the Jets, Saints, Commanders, or Bears to do it. So I can't remember what the rules are, but I know it's if your team like misses the playoffs and maybe misses consecutive seasons, something like that. But anyway, they can force those teams to do it. I guess they're asking the Lions if they do it again. Hard Knocks, I love Hard Knocks. I feel like it's kind of run its course. I'm still going to watch it if they do it, but I'm not as excited about it as I was once in the past.
Well, I think the teams are onto it now. Like they know what it can do for, morale, what it can do for perception going forward throughout the season. So, like you said, there's a lot of teams that don't want to dip their toe in that, and they want to focus different ways. But I don't really know. Clip is, I think when you said there's the teams that want it or are eligible that don't want to do it, your Commanders are one of those teams. I think the Titans maybe are one of those teams. And a lot of these teams are just boring. And I think Detroit, like just Campbell alone, is entertainment enough.
Remember last year, Chandler, it was Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn going back and forth at practice.
And Deuce is like that in Carolina right now.
Yep.
If we didn't have Frank Wright, maybe we'd be eligible.
By the way, there is a series, I think a 3-part series coming out soon.
By the Panthers.
Which every year, I remember I used to enjoy the Camp Confidential that the Panthers would put out, which is kind of like the team's very own Hard Knocks. I think they're going to step it up a notch this year with some sort of behind the scenes of, and it's going to date back all the way to the hiring of Frank Reich. It's going to go back to the hiring of Frank Reich, the draft journey to get Bryce Young. Let's go before that and trading up to go to the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, no, what's about to happen? Oh man, we gotta get on the same stream. I can't look at Joe anymore. He's watching this game.
He's ahead of you.
Oral Roberts plates a run, first and second, nobody out in the 9th, and it's 5-3. We got drama in Omaha.
Who do you want to win
I turned it
this?
off for you. No worries. I turned it off.
No, that's
Who
not
do you
fair.
want to win?
If you could turn it on and just pause it for about 20-30 seconds, I feel like we could get even. I got TCU. He's got Oral Roberts.
Oh,
we're against each other.
Gotcha.
Did I interrupt you? I'm sorry, Chandler.
I mean, I was just saying that. I look forward to that.
Yeah,
but I think
that's another reason.
I think the Panthers, if you want to throw some names in the hat to who would want to watch Hard Knocks, I think the Panthers have a chance.
I think it's going to be next year.
So
I think the Panthers have some characters on their team and their staff.
Another reason I'm not into it now, everybody's kind of doing their own Hard Knocks. Plus, there's the thing the Panthers did. All In.
Well, that was all in or all
like,
on HBO.
But now
Amazon.
They missed that All In or Nothing just a year late. Because if they would have done the year before, would have been a great documentary.
Well, and if you go to a team's Twitter account, you're basically seeing Hard Knocks. You're seeing like behind the scenes stuff now.
Well, I think Hard Knocks though is because it's done by HBO also puts a more dramatic spin on it than the teams want when they're going to control their own media. It's going to be just so glowing when it comes to any portrayal about the team when the team media does it, at least because HBO is doing it. And I know that they're not going to want to upset the NFL, but they do want it to seem dramatic. And if that's making a player look selfish for a moment or whatever, they will do it.
Chandler, you want to read the last comment on YouTube?
Yeah. Jamie says, Clip asked Chandler, did I interrupt you? Said he was sorry.
So Jamie says, Clip asked Chandler, did I interrupt you? Said he was sorry, then immediately interrupted him again.
And then did it again right there.
Interruptception. Sorry, Chandler. That is that's something I got to change.
How does it feel to be interrupted, Chandler? Let's go to him on the sideline.
Yeah, Tony, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, Tony, it really is.
Are you there, Chandler? Are you there, Chandler? Chandler, can we hear you? Can you hear us?
Oh, man. I am the great interrupter. That's my superpower.
No, I'm an interrupter, too.
And you know what the awkward thing is about those broadcasts where there is a delay to the people in the studio to the people out in the field is that when they do begin to talk, then the person in the studio might start talking. And it's
like us on the. I mean, this is how it is when we do podcasts virtually,
Zoom and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, because and being in the room does give you a lot of cues to how we're going to exchange and things. But so it's a lot different virtually. I don't think though it's even more wild when you watch it like on the local news and it's like the winds, but they're like in a hurricane. It's like let's go down to Charles, and he's like. Blowing all around. He's like, all right, I'm here.
Blizzard or something.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of time. Tony, thanks for hanging out.
All right, later.
C3 podcast Tuesday night.
Yeah.
All right, there, folks, check it out.
Friday Free for All. Just go.
Friday Free for All tonight.
Help our content out.
Best Panther podcast on YouTube.
Ever.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. Morgan Ahlers joins us, Mark Greenhalgh, Hour 3, and we'll make you a winner. This guy's name is Blaze Brothers.
Blaze Brothers.
Get at it. We're back after this.
Whoa!
Roberts.
That's his name. That's his name.
Oh, Robert. I mean,
Blaze.
God.
I don't know what you got, but it plays with my emotions, and I want you so much.
The Beach Tavern Bar and Grill has been the place to be for over 50 years. BT's is the best local sports bar in the heart of Atlantic Beach. Located on West Fort Macon Road across from Pacific, BT's has daily food specials, a late night menu, cold beer, pool, darts, and live entertainment for everyone to enjoy. Make it a summer to remember at the Beach Tavern Bar and Grill. Follow BT's on Facebook and Instagram for all the daily specials and events. BT's, the place for fun in Atlantic Beach this summer. Saturdays are your day to kick back, relax, and have fun. That's why Ottavola Market Cafe is the perfect place to go for dinner, drinks, and takeout. Ottavola is open every Saturday at 4 p.m. on the bar side, serving a special selection of menu favorites of appetizers, pastas, and specialty pizzas. Whether it's dine-in, takeout, or drinks with friends, Ottavola is the best choice every Saturday starting at 4 o'clock. Visit OttavolaMarket.com to see what's new, and visit Ottavola on Red Banks Road every Saturday starting at 4. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of PIP Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growitpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. PIP, where business goes to grow.
With U.S. Cellular, it's just $29.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines. So you don't need that robot daughter you built to get a 4th line for family plan pricing.
Oh, Rope Elizabeth? She's not gonna like that.
The robots will prevail.
Oh boy.
Get the low rate of $29.99 per line. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Did you know 1 in 5 Americans use alternative wellness practices? And this number is growing, with good reason. Your CBD store empowers modern wellness through premium hemp products. We're the #1 CBD brick and mortar in the world with products for sleep, focus, recovery, and more. Our products are the gold standard in hemp wellness. Your CBD store, Greenville, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, or call 999-5127.
Must be 18 years of age. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Take control of your health today with ArcPoint Labs. Are you feeling tired, exhausted, or lethargic and not able to explain why? Fatigue can be caused by a number of things such as lack of sleep, illness, or chronic disease. The ArcPoint Lab Fatigue Panel is designed to help people understand what could be causing their fatigue. Get a simple blood test today by getting started at arcpointlabs.com or call 629-6228. ArcPoint Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Tiebreakers in Greenville at Bells Fork and in downtown Winterville on Railroad Street. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Shirley, I sent a DM PR. Can you play that video real quick?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
And we're going to bring on Morgan Ahlers to the show. So, dramatic moment in Omaha, 3-run home run. I just mentioned Blaze Brothers has a cool name, and he had a 3-run shot to take the 6-5 lead over TCU in the 9th inning. Carl Ravage, I love Ravi. Big Baseball Tonight guy back in the day. I like Carl Ravage. He is getting roasted right now for his live play-by-play call of this home run. Let's hear it real quick, Shirley.
And this one is hammered to left field. Did he do it? Yes, sir! Walk-off home run, the 9-hitter Blaze Brothers. And Oral Roberts rallies and wins it. TCU, I should say, in a walk-off. Top half, that's right, not bottom. 3-run shot, though, puts them on top after it felt like they were down 6-5.
Still got a bad for him.
Blaze Brothers.
So he says,
call was great at the beginning.
yeah, if he'd have stopped.
Yes, sir. Let the crowd.
Yeah, let the crowd tell the
do the
story.
talking.
Yeah. But got a little confused there. They are headed to the bottom of the 9th now, with TCU needing a run to keep the game going. Oral Roberts up 1 on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, presented by DeBuck. Let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line and talk to the voice of Dowdy Ficklen Stadium and Minges Coliseum. Morgan Ahlers joins us. Morgan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, guys. How about yourself? Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Doing good. Following a little baseball, following a little U.S. Open action as Ricky Fowler, picking up where he left off, already got a birdie on the day, has tied it with Wyndham Clark, 9 under par as the leader at the U.S. Open. So a few things to watch here in the sports world, Morgan, as we await football season. We're diving into our football previews. We've got Steve Cotton, voice of Marshall, and Adam Whitten, voice of App State, joining us next week on the show, Morgan. But speaking of football, can we get a Holt Ahlers update? How's Holt doing there in Seattle?
He would be doing good, but he's no longer in Seattle.
Okay.
Flew back yesterday. He's at the beach right now.
All right, so he's still with the team.
Jesus.
But not in Seattle.
No, he flew in yesterday, and he got down to the beach last night. He'll be coming back to Greenhalgh, I think, on Monday.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, man.
He
My
got
heart
it.
sunk.
All right, so there you go.
No, he actually he went through all the OTAs and the mandatory camps that they had, and had a really great month and a half in Seattle.
Good.
One of 3 quarterbacks still on the roster. They haven't brought anybody else in, knock on wood, and hopefully they won't. And he'll go back the end of July for training camp. So.
And Morgan, do you have any insight on? I know C.J. Johnson was released from the Seahawks. Have you heard from him? Has Holton said anything? Do you know what C.J.'s up to now?
Really haven't talked to him about C.J. Since he did get released. And I know that he was banged up a little bit, and that might have had something to do with it. But again, I don't know any of the details. And hopefully, he'll get another opportunity somewhere else.
Saw also Holton Ahlers having another football camp, second annual football camp in July. So he'll be in the area coming up. That will be July 15th at D.H. Conley High School. And
July 15th at Conley.
Yeah, I know that was a big success last year, Morgan, and going to be even better this year.
Yeah, hopefully, the response has been tremendous. We thank everybody for putting together a really cool experience for the kids. It went really, really well last year. I think everybody had a great time, and looking forward to it again this year. Going to be some college players, ECU players, some other pro guys are scheduled to come in. So it's going to be fun, and football, a lot of different fun events that they put around it. I was really, really proud of Holton the way he did that last year and put it all together. And looking forward to year number 2.
It is camp season. A lot of camps going on. We had the junior camp for ECU football this week, and I saw some pictures, videos of that. Ladies clinic going on next week. So Mike Houston and company busy over there with football, Morgan, before they finally get some time off, I think, after camp season, and then it's right back to the grind with fall camp and workouts and the opener against Michigan, big bad Michigan. But Morgan, a couple of rule changes. I don't know if I've talked to you about these. How about from your perch up there at the top of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium in the Town Bank Tower? What do you think about the rule change of the clock not stopping after first downs? Any thoughts on that?
Personally, this is me. I think that's something that it should stop until at least it gets up there, it gets reset, because a lot of times you've got officials spotting the ball, and if it's a 30-yard play, now you've got to get 25, 30 people down when you talk about officials and players and the chain gang getting everything set. Heck, last year we had maybe a handful of times that the chain got screwed up and they had to stop it. So I don't know. I kind of think that they should stop it until it gets reset, and then after, I think, in the 2 minutes, they still stop it at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, they're still going to do that at the half in the game. Yeah.
I don't know. A football game's going to last you about 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. And guess what? It's still going to last you that long.
Jamie says, is that going to affect his first down call? I didn't think about that.
Yes and no. I'll have to do it quicker.
Yeah, you'll be ready to go.
A lot of times they're getting up to the line of scrimmage anyway. You can't really say anything until after the whistle's blown. So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Mike Houston asked him about it, and he said I guess they've crunched the numbers. It's gonna, and I wish I had the exact number. He said it's something like we're gonna have 7 or 8 less plays in a game. He said, I believe. So that it's still football at the end of the day. I am interested to see if it makes a difference on hurry up offense or anything like that. Maybe in the NFL, a first quarter can go by in a blink. You get a 5-minute drive here, a punt, another 6-7 minutes roll on. So I'm interested to see if that translates to the college game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you still got you obviously you're in the business, so you know this, that if a game starts at 12 o'clock the game's going to go till 3:30. The next game is going to start at 3:30 as scheduled to. That's your window. TV doesn't want it to end at 3 o'clock because they don't have a 30-minute post-game show. It's still, there's a block of win, and that's what it's all about with TV time. Now, whether they're going to say, okay, we're going to save 7 plays, that's 35 seconds times 7. We get another timeout to sell, block to sell. Follow the Benjamins. Then you'll have a reason why they changed.
The Benjamins. Morgan Ahlers joining us, Pirate Radio Live Line here on a Friday. Morgan, of course, we hadn't talked to you in a while. ECU's baseball season came to an end a couple weeks ago at the hands of Virginia. Are you following College World Series? You've been following this at all?
A little bit. I think Virginia had a really good team. I think Wake Forest has got a good squad. Some of these other schools, I'll be honest with you, right now I'm down in Southport, North Carolina, just south of Wilmington. Got a couple big shows down here for tonight and tomorrow, so going to be coming back Sunday and watching the U.S. Open more than college baseball because East Carolina's out.
Who you got in the U.S. Open? Ricky Fowler, another birdie, 2 under through 2. Is this the time? Is this the event that Ricky Fowler finally wins his first major?
If he can avoid the Dustin Johnson snowman from today earlier, the answer is probably, because he played really well yesterday, obviously, but he was just consistent all day long. He was hitting the fairways, putting on the green. Obviously made some putts. If he keeps playing like this, he's going to be tough to beat.
Wow.
There's always that, that what if the ball goes in that 8-inch rough and you can't find it.
Man, I saw Dustin Johnson was 2 over at the time I looked at it. I didn't realize he shot an 8 on hole number 2, but it kind of tells you how good he is. More, he finished the day even par, so he's still way in the mix there at 6 under after shooting an 8 on the second hole.
Started out at 6 under par, like you said, and I watched that this morning. And the drive went off to the left, and I think it was in a fairway bunker, and then it went up and hit into a ravine, and then it went on the side he had to take a drop from there. Then he hits it off to the left-hand side and some more rough, and it was ugly, and he comes out, and I think he birdies or pars. I think he parred the next one with a chance for a birdie. So, just one of those things, I guess.
Morgan Ahlers joining us. Do you have something, Chandler? Chandler, you're about to golf tomorrow, right?
Actually, no. The plans have changed.
Oh, no. Sorry, I brought that up.
I think we're going to try to...
A little bit, Chandler. We go out there and play some golf, me, you, and Quip.
No.
Yeah,
How much do you golf, Morgan?
I'm getting back in. I used to golf a lot.
Okay.
Prior to coaching Little League, I did. And the boys have started getting into it, so I've started playing a little bit more. And, the other day I went out and shot probably my best round in 20 years, shot a 41 on the front 9, and the company was great on the back 9. Let's just put it that way.
All right, I'd love to go play. I got to get better before I go out and play with people. I would just hold y'all up. I would not have fun.
It's all about having fun.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun for me or y'all.
That's all I'm trying to do right now. So
there you go. All right, we got 2 on, 1 out for TCU. Oral Roberts with a 6-5 lead as they play in Omaha. First game of the College World Series. Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Dubuck. Are you working or playing, Morgan? Hanging out there in, what'd you say, Southport?
Working.
Okay.
Working. Pretty much, yeah.
10-4. Well, enjoy your wedding there, and we'll talk some more sports with you next week, man.
Not my wedding.
Correct.
I'm sad to the death, but we're not getting married.
I'm sorry I phrased it that way. My apologies. Morgan, and have a good weekend, man.
You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Later on, there is DJ Captain Morgan.
DJ Captain Morgan. Go see him on Tuesday nights at
Dubuck. All right. We got more drama here in the 9th. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll talk some U.S. Open with Mark Greenhalgh and give away a case of Budweiser. We'll do that when we return. Pirate Radio Live here on a Friday. Back with you after this.
Shot, though, puts them on top after it felt like they were down and out. 6-5. Blaze Brothers.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttech@greenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Serving those who serve is a lifelong mission, one that Budweiser supports with Folds of Honor. Together, they've been helping military families for over 13 years by funding life-changing scholarships. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for families for American heroes. Grab a case of Budweiser today at your favorite local retailer. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing, supporting our military veterans and the Pirate Nation since 1989. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing.
This is Mike Hoggart with Viva Electric.
This is Mark McGlawhorn, Roland Black Heating and Cooling.
We have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. Contact us at callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Call us today to help with your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Go Pirates.
What's up there, Pirate Nation? Kyle Gaines here from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram here in Washington, North Carolina. This just came in, just announced 10% off MSRP on all 23 Ram Bighorns. That's right, huge savings, 10% off window sticker on these 23 Bighorns. And it is that time of year, it is Wrangler season. We have a huge selection of Jeep Wranglers, Gladiators, soft top, hard tops. So come check us out here at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Are you one of the estimated 17 million people in the U.S. suffering from dry eye disorders that are not resolved using over-the-counter or prescription eye drops? Ask ArcPoint Labs about Serum Tears, a natural dry eye solution. At ArcPoint Labs, Serum Tears are tailor-made for you from a quick blood draw, providing a sterile and natural option to help those with dry eye conditions. Contact your ophthalmologist or optometrist for a prescription or contact ArcPoint Labs to help you find one. Visit ArcPoint Labs' new location on Dixon Avenue near the intersection of Arlington Boulevard or schedule online at arcpointlabs.com.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
It may be hot outside, but in Russell's, the clothing is light, bright, and beautiful. Hi, I'm Russell Smith with Russell's in downtown Washington. We have a great inventory of cool, lightweight, colorful apparel for all your summer needs. Lots of dresses, tops, and accessories for the ladies. For the men, it's shorts, polos, swimwear, and t-shirts, just for starters. Feel good and look even better when you shop for summer apparel at Russell's in downtown Washington. It's all about you, Pirate Nation, our friends and customers at Russell's in downtown Washington.
This is Coach Gary Overton, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. And both locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Cliff.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Free Beer Friday. Got a case of Budweiser cans coming your way. And lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers to the lucky caller at the end of this segment. That's a good way to get your weekend started off right. All right, 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Oral Roberts holding on to a 6-5 lead. Got a 3-run jack in the top of the 9th from Blaze Brothers to put them in the lead, and now they're trying to get the final out for their Cinderella run to continue here. This time in Omaha, and it is a 2-1 count for the TCU batter. As we take a look at what's going on out in Los Angeles, Ricky Fowler picking up from where he left off. He is 10 under par and in the lead at the U.S. Open. We'll talk about that with Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us here on Pirate Radio Live. Greeny, how you doing, man? Greeny, you there? Greeny, are you there?
I am here.
There he is. And a liner into left, and Oral Roberts has won it.
Wow.
As we are live here in the Pirate Radio studios watching that. Oral Roberts wins, Greeny, and they're trying to win a College World Series for the first time. Ricky Fowler trying to win a major for the first time. Greeny, another birdie for Fowler, 3 under already today, so he is now 11 under par. Before we talk about what's going on this weekend, Greeny, where does Ricky Fowler stand as far as best players, most accomplished current players to not win a major? Is he at the top? He's got to be on the list, right?
He's on the list, but he's probably down a little ways just because he's had so much difficulty the last few years. And I was kind of thinking that around summertime is when we would see this new swing and his confidence grow a little bit. Didn't see this coming though, and a 3-shot lead in the 2-shot lead in the U.S. Open, birdie in his first 3 holes in round number 2 after a 62 yesterday. I mean, you probably got to put somebody like a Xander Schauffele probably up at the top of that list. That's where I would go first. Beyond that, it's kind of hard. There's probably a bunch of guys that are right in there somewhere, but he's probably a little bit further down. Now, back in 2014 when he finished runner-up in all 4 majors.
Yeah,
you would have put him very high in the list, but if he makes a comeback now and starts going, then you kind of put him maybe back in the top 5 of that list.
Greeny, going into this tournament, what was the kind of projected winner score? And right now, Ricky Fowler minus 11, just 3 holes into day 2. What was the projected score, and what is it going to be? What is it projected to be now? Did you know that there was going to be so many low numbers here at this course, or is it a surprise? What do you think?
The USGA usually likes par, so when you look at a new venue, you don't know what you're going to get. And I heard a lot of people talking, definitely single digits, probably 5, 6, 7 under par was looking pretty good.
Okay.
But, you get the same scenario. You get a golf course that wind kicks up, the Santa Ana winds kick up in the LA area, and you get a lot of breezes, and the wind play is a big factor in protecting this golf course. You essentially had no wind for most of the day yesterday, had a little breeze kick up in the afternoon. You've had no wind this morning until the sun came out about a half hour or maybe 45 minutes ago. And, now you've got a little bit of breeze again. So we're going to get a better feel this afternoon and into the evening for us as to how this golf course is going to play. It should take a little bit of more of the moisture out of the golf course. They've had that almost like a marine layer that you get at like a Pebble Beach or a Torrey Pines, hanging over the course, keeping a little bit of the moisture in it. I mean, let's put it this way. They have not watered the fairways at this golf course for almost a month and a half, and they looked phenomenal, right? So that tells you how much moisture has stayed in the air in that golf course for the last month and a half. So we project that if the weather continues to have some sunshine, that it will get harder as we go along, but nobody was anticipating 262s yesterday, certainly.
Mark Greenhalgh's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us. Greeny, I'm looking at the live odds right now, and of course Ricky Fowler is the favorite, followed by Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, and then there's another group with some longer odds with John Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau. Well, you can answer this from a gambling perspective or just from a golf perspective. If you're picking somebody not named Ricky Fowler to win it, who's up there right now, kind of in contention in the hunt, who's a name or two you would pick to win this thing?
Man, you got to look at Rory. You got to look at Xander Schauffele. I know Xander Schauffele, I just said he's the best player that hasn't won a major, but watching him play yesterday, that was a pretty boring 62 if you've ever seen one. I mean, considering that there's only been 162 ever shot in a men's major championship, and there were 2 of them yesterday, Xander Schauffele with 8 birdies, no bogeys, made it look real easy. I mean, Ricky Fowler obviously shot 8 under. He had to make 10 birdies to do it, so it looked fairly easy for him. But man, I think Xander missed one shot all day. Was able to scramble and make a little bit of a 4 on the short par 4-6 after a bad tee shot. But you got to think that he's a great putter. He's actually sneaky long. He hits it longer than you kind of think he does. He's a very good iron player. There's not a lot of holes in his game. It's just a question of he's made mistakes in final rounds of major championships, and you kind of feel like he should have won at least one, maybe 2 already. So I would look at those 2 as the favorite, but also don't sleep on Wyndham Clark. He won the Wells Fargo Championship here in Charlotte. Max Homa said that when he wins, the floodgates will open. We kind of said that about Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler finally won one, then he turns around and wins the Masters on us. So Wyndham Clark could be that sneaky guy that might be worth $1 or 2.
All right, Mark Greenhalgh's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us here, and pretty soon, Greeny, we'll all be able to go to our phones and put that bet in because of the news about gambling and sports gambling in the state of North Carolina. What do you think about that, and how does that affect golf viewing and, I don't know, your show and the way you talk about golf moving forward?
Well, I mean, already for golf, when you look at the PGAtour.com leaderboard, they have odds on there as on the leaderboard. I mean, it's the last column that they've added this year, so it is definitely a thing in the world of golf. It's been for probably about the last year and a half. And, I mean, we probably will start bringing some more gambling pieces into this. And, it makes sense. I mean, you can pretty much go gamble online anywhere you want to these days with FanDuel and DraftKings and all those anyway. So it makes sense that the states are going to capitalize on that, and I don't have any problem with it whatsoever. I still do giggle when you hear the commercials for it, and they have to give you like 50 states worth of phone numbers to call if you have a gambling problem.
Greeny, how about Dustin Johnson's day? If he would have just... Obviously, if he'd gone par, even if he went bogey or double bogey, he would be even higher on the leaderboard. But shoots that 8 on the second hole, still is able to, I guess, kind of bounce back in the day even and stay somewhat in the hunt. And I don't know, usually you see a meltdown like that, you'll see a guy fall off. He actually played well after that 8 spot he put up.
Yeah, he's probably one of the few people that can make a big number like that, and you don't really feel like it's going to bother him all that much because he just everything's water off the duck's back for him. He's kind of just got that attitude where nothing phases him. When he was out at Chambers Bay and had the whole issue and won his U.S. Open, I mean, he won his U.S. Open when he was being penalized and all this stuff. So he's one of the few guys that just kind of ignores everything that's going on around and just kind of stays inside of his own head. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen. So, but nice to see him fight back from that. But he was making a lot of bad mistakes on one particular hole and moved on. I mean, you saw Brian Harmon hold up the entire golf course earlier, making a double bogey on the par 3 7th hole, and then turn around and make a mess and had to make like a 10 or 12 foot putt for bogey on the next hole. So other players are definitely impacted by mistakes, and he wasn't. So good on him.
Mark Greenhalgh's Golf Shop Radio Show. Greeny, a former Clemson golfer. Yesterday on the show, Greeny, Jeff Nadeau and I previewed the ACC, and odds on favorite to win this year, not Clemson, Florida State. And how do you feel about that as a Tiger? I don't know, does it give you a little chip, Greeny? You kind of like not being the favorite going into this year?
I don't know. You remember everybody was high on Miami last year, and what happened to them? They had their doors blown off. I guess people are looking at that Florida State, had a decent comeback year last year, made some gains in the transfer portal. Clemson kind of handled them fairly easily other than a couple of late scores that made it look a little bit better on the Florida State side, and that was in Tallahassee. So, I think this is going to be a different dynamic. I mean, you have an offensive coordinator who took a very mediocre offense and took it to number 4 in the country last year, and he's at Clemson. He's got more tools. He's got more weapons. He's probably got a better all-around quarterback in Cade Klubnik. Got some better weapons. You got to think that offense is really what hurt Clemson from basically being undefeated last year. I mean, the two games that they lost before the bowl game, I mean, were definitely a direct result of DJ not being able to complete passes and not being able to run the offense. And if you can just run the offense and make it difficult to defend, the defense is going to be just as good last year, even though they had a couple losses. They had some guys that stayed that I didn't think were going to stay. Even though I'm a Clemson guy, in my mind, you still have to beat Clemson to do it, and Florida State's going to have to do that on the road. That's a tall task.
Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us. You can check it out 8 to 10 a.m. on Saturday right here on Pirate Radio. Greeny, a lot of U.S. Open talk planned, I'm sure. What else you got coming up on Saturday's edition?
Yeah, of course, we're going to talk U.S. Open, and we're going to talk a little more golf next week about the Travelers Championship, and we will also get back into our PGA and PIF and DP World Tour conglomeration, and the Department of Justice sticking their nose in there again, obviously, and Phil Mickelson not wanting to talk about it this week. So we'll just kind of touch on a little bit of everything and a little, pretty much every sport this weekend. So we'll touch them all.
Well, you did a good job of kind of recapping that last week when we talked to you. I figured we'd focus on U.S. Open this week, and next week I'll have more Live, PGA, whatever questions. So we'll circle back to that, just as you guys will do on your show in detail coming up on Saturday. Greeny, enjoyed it, man. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks, Cliff. Have a good weekend, too.
All righty. Ricky Fowler, 11 under par in the lead at the U.S. Open. We'll keep an eye on that as we wrap up today's show. If you're just tuning in, Oral freaking Roberts, 3-run homer, top of the ninth to take a 1-run lead. They end up closing it out in the bottom of the frame and knocking off TCU. Oral Roberts, 2 wins away from playing for a college baseball national championship. So that's all they got to do. Just win a couple more games, and they're in.
Can they be the Coastal Carolina? I've already seen some comparisons on Twitter. Can they be the Coastal Carolina this year? We saw this run from the Chanticleers a few years ago where they won a national championship, and Oral Roberts has most certainly been that team, that Cinderella team this year, as they found themselves down 5-2 in that 9th inning, and next thing you know, Blaze Brothers hits a 3-run go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th, and they shut the door in the bottom of the 9th, and they are in the driver's seat when it comes to the College World Series.
Let's take a time out. As we do, Shirley Rhodes will make somebody a big winner on a Free Beer Friday.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250. We've got a case of the King of Beers, Budweiser. That is yours. Lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers is yours. All you got to do is be lucky caller number 12 at 317-1250.
Can I ask Shirley to do something when we get back from break?
You're asking me if you can ask her to do something?
Yeah.
I'm allowing you to ask her, yes.
Shirley, can I ask you to do something when we get back from break?
I may or may not allow it.
Please say yes. I'd love to see you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
She didn't say she would do it. She just said she's allowing you to ask her to do it. Don't celebrate too soon. Don't celebrate too soon, buddy. All right, 317-1250. Caller 12's a winner. Back with you after this. Chandler's got a question. He's popping the question to Shirley after this.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today? And then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates. Barrett's.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Upgrade your comfort right now during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Summer in Motion event. Need to relax, recline, and unwind? Now at Bostic Sugg, enjoy savings on all our top furniture brands. Plus, for a limited time, when you buy any recliner, lift chair, or reclining sofa or sectional, you'll get a second reclining furniture item at 40% off. With over 400 items in stock, plus special savings on custom orders, relaxation has never been so easy. The Summer in Motion event on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Celebrating a special grad but no time to cook? Why not let Jimmy John's cater your graduation party? Enjoy Jimmy John's famous Mini Jimmies in 12, 18, or 30-piece party packs made to order with fresh-baked bread, hand-sliced meats, and local veggies, and delivered right to you. Whether you have a few guests or a few hundred, Jimmy John's will make your graduation gathering an A-plus event. Jimmy John's, open 7 days a week in Greenville and Wilson. Order now on the Jimmy John's app or online at jimmyjohns.com. Did you know 1 in 5 Americans use alternative wellness practices? And this number is growing, with good reason. Your CBD store empowers modern wellness through premium hemp products. We're the #1 CBD brick and mortar in the world with products for sleep, focus, recovery, and more. Our products are the gold standard in hemp wellness. Your CBD store, Greenville, 420 East Arlington Boulevard, or call 999-5127.
Must be 18 years of age. This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Aces for Autism, a nonprofit, is here to provide opportunities for individuals with autism and their families. A place of hope, joy, and success. Whether it's helping a child make their first sound or preparing a young adult for vocational opportunities, we provide support where it wasn't available before. You can help us support families by supporting Aces for Autism's Team Together campaign. There are many ways to participate, such as buying a brick or sponsoring a room. To learn more about our state-of-the-art facility, visit acestogether.com.
This is Dale Murphy, two-time National League MVP and number 3 with the Atlanta Braves. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a quick look at your stock market report. The Dow was down 108 points at 34,299. The NASDAQ was down 93 at 13,689. The S&P was down 16 and closed out the week at 4,409. That is your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. And congratulations to Susan Deans, who is our big winner on our free Beer Friday. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Chandler just pulled a Clip Brock on me, and I feel bad. I said Ricky Fowler, who's walking through a lot of high grass and sand, and right now not where he wants to be. I said, still rocking those fresh red, white, and blue cleats. And Chandler.
And I said, what? Is he playing football?
Chandler, in disgust, said, golf shoes. And I was like, man, I sound like a non-sports guy.
I said something, I think it was last week. I said, scored a home run or.
Oh, don't say that.
Or did something.
Gross.
Or said something like that.
That's gross.
And definitely not as cringeworthy. You saying cleats is not as cringeworthy as that. So,
did you see that home run that Oral Roberts scored a moment ago? They got 3 points on it.
Oh, I think I said points or something instead of runs.
One day we should just say the most non-sports phrases we can think of and act like we know about sports. You down? Mm-hmm. I mean, you kind of do it every day. That's a joke. That is not true. You're a sports guy, Chandler. You're my sports guy. All right. You know what else you are? You're a countdown guy.
Yep.
This is your time to shine.
All right.
But you don't shine alone.
I can't shine unless somebody does something for me.
That's right.
Shirley, slap on that hat, as you already have, and back that fat old white truck up of yours.
Wow.
Back it up. It up.
You said old.
Yep.
Old.
There is no rust in this trunk.
Old.
I'm just saying.
OLE.
Old. Really?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? What is the point? What is the purpose of this exercise?
Because, Clip, baseball's over. College baseball for East Carolina. What are we looking forward to now when it comes to East Carolina sports?
Volleyball.
No.
I am.
Well, yes.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Look at this guy.
Sorry.
A bit rude.
Yes.
You're not a Title IX guy.
I'm so in trouble right now. All right.
Cancel Chandler.
Yes, but no.
Okay. You're probably talking about women's soccer.
Yes, of course, but no.
There's got to be some outdoor track and field.
You're close because it is outdoors. Cannot wait for Kirk Kraft's East Carolina Pirates on the track field.
You know, Walter Camp had an idea a long time ago to come up with a sport.
What was that?
Well, it was like a mix of rugby and
soccer.
And he called it football.
East Carolina has a football team.
Mm-hmm.
They've been playing for several years.
They'll
be having their 2023 season coming up September 2nd. How many I thought I just heard somebody ask. How many days away did you ask? 78 days away until East Carolina goes on the road and takes on the Wolverines of Michigan inside probably the biggest college football stadium in the history of college football. It's the Big House. September 2nd, 78 days away. All of that on the David Price Construction countdown to kickoff.
78 days away, which means we are 76 days away from the party of the year, the Pirate Radio football kickoff party. Awesome stuff, Chan Man. Thanks to David Price Construction for the David Price countdown to kickoff. You can call 919-291-5532 or visit online davidpriceconstruction.com. Award-winning commercial or custom residential and building from David Price Construction, ECU alum, and a sponsor of our David Price Construction countdown to kickoff.
Can't wait. ECU.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. You know what else we're counting down? Forgot to do this.
What's that?
Man. Let me do this right quick.
All right, he's going back to the lab.
Well, what am I doing? I'm so stupid. I just subtract 2 days from that because 2 days from September 2nd.
What's that going to be?
Oh, you haven't heard?
What is it?
The party of the year.
Young Joey. I'm glad you got to witness this.
Oh, did you already mention that?
Literally.
Oh, my God.
47 seconds ago, maybe?
Dude.
We might be about a minute.
Man, it's because I forgot. I thought I had mentioned it and I didn't. And I didn't hear you mention it. I'm sorry.
I'm glad I got to witness that firsthand heading into the weekend, though.
I'm just glad you got to see that. Like Joey and I immediately made eye contact. He said, is this guy really about...
Is this guy this big of an idiot?
He went John Starks.
You would be correct, sir.
Did this dude just did this?
Did this dude just do this?
Did this.
Did this?
You did.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention again because I can't wait. The party of the year's back. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be in honor of Jeff Charles, the voice. So come out and party with us. More details to come.
All right, there it is, your David Price Construction countdown to kickoff. Jamie said, what just happened? I thought it was a technical glitch. Again, Chandler is living 3 or 4 minutes in the past from all of us, and he does his best to keep up, but sometimes he has those issues.
Yes, indeed, I do have those issues, Clip. I have those issues all the time.
All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. More to go. We'll take a look at what's going on this weekend on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard and have more for you as we get ready to close her down on a Friday here on Pirate Radio Live. More to go after this.
Here at Brown & Wood with Jeff Stein. It's summertime, and Jeff, you guys have a new car wash.
We do. We put in a brand new car wash just for the customer. So when you come in, get your vehicle serviced, we wash, dry, vacuum your car for free. It's state of the art, but free to the customer.
And this summer, you have an AC special.
It's summertime. Air conditioning units are breaking left and right. But guess what? At Brown & Wood, all summer, I have free diagnostics on all air conditioning issues. Only at Brown & Wood.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offers over 50 years of experience. To get started, call me, Talbot Green, 714-2076.
Talbot Green, NMLS 120331. For informational purposes only. Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is equal housing lender. NMLS 208516.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla. It's the best idea ever.
Whoa. The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla, that was my idea. My idea. Doritos and pizza. I did that. Another one.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple-authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Fifth Street Hardware and Tap Room is serving up the best lunch in town with a different special every day. Come sit on the patio and enjoy wonderful weather with lunch specials for only $9. Fifth Street Hardware and Tap Room is open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner. Thirsty? Stop in for a cold beer with over 40 taps to choose from. Fifth Street Hardware and Tap Room, next to the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Happy 100th anniversary to Minji's Bottling Group. Congratulations on 100 years of refreshing Eastern North Carolina.
Pirate Radio.
All of our last names are ECU.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, and For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. You can join the over 64,000 followers today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, Jerry. YouTube says now we know why we need commercials for PRL. He gives Chandler a chance to catch up when he falls behind. So now he's caught up, good to go. Not only does it pay the bills and our salaries, it gives Chandler a chance to get all that information in, soak it all in into the brain. All right, Carl Ravish has quote tweeted a tweet because he's getting roasted on social media. He says this was a tough one for Carl Ravish, and Ravish tweeted, "It was all on me. Come back and do it again tomorrow. My bad." That's all he can say.
That's all he can say.
Yeah.
He knows he messed up.
He's a pro.
He knew he messed up when that guy was when he was approaching second base and said that they had won. And then he said TCU rather.
Somebody was probably trying to notify him it's the top, and they made a mistake, and then so he said the other team, like he was,
Is this it? Yes, sir. Pause. Make sure you got it right. Top of the ninth. You got this, Carl. Come back strong tomorrow. Man.
Boy, I just saw this. BetOnline.ag. Proud to be the first sports book to offer betting odds on the Special Olympics.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean,
Would you ever put something down?
I mean, look.
Absolutely.
Why not? If you could find an edge, Jeff Nadeau said, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, if you have a chance to make money, and you go for it. Right?
If some of this stuff televised, then I would definitely like to.
There we go. There you go.
If I could
Boy, it didn't take much for you to get on board quick.
Oh, man.
So, saw that. All right. 2 more things we got to do before we go. Real quick, Chandler, I saw a moment ago Ricky Fowler waiting around, and they had a clock that was ticking up, and it said wait time for the 4th hole, and it was up to 14 minutes. I guess he had just been standing around. How often does that happen when you're just golfing at a normal course, and at what point, at what minute mark do you get annoyed? Like, is 14 a lot? That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, but I mean, dating back to last year, and our member guest, we had a lot of people, a lot of teams. It's 2-man teams in the member guest, and I remember last year there was 2 or 3 groups in front of us, and we would pull up to I remember pulling up to the third tee, and having to wait for 2 different groups to tee off and go ahead of us.
So you're waiting what?
At least
20 plus
25 minutes.
Yeah,
and that is very frustrating. Because, of course, as a golfer, you want the pace of play to be smooth. You don't want there to be any, and I want to say we had just birdied the last hole. And now we have to sit there and wait and talk. And, it's very frustrating. And it happens quite a bit if you're just out there golfing on your own or golfing with some friends. It just depends on the group in front of you and how many people are in that group. But you might get behind some slow golfers that like to talk and hit their shot and then talk a little bit. And but yeah, it happens quite a bit, but it's very frustrating.
All right, and finally, good job, Joey, reminding me that I said I would circle back to this, and we've got 1 minute to talk about it now. NBA draft next Thursday. Hornets have the number 2 pick. Trade rumors, talks, I don't know how real they are out there. But yesterday, Chandler, you said, I just want him to go up there and make the pick. Just make the pick. And I'm like, whoa, wait. You're not interested in a trade? I would rather have Brandon Ingram than the number 2 pick. I would rather have Zion Williamson than the number 2 pick.
That makes me sick.
Joey, where do you stand? What do you think?
See, the thing is, when it comes to Zion, and we were talking about it earlier when Tony Dunn was on, we don't like to say about injury prone, but he is injury prone.
Clearly. You could not argue otherwise at this point.
And as much as a freak he was at Duke, he just hasn't been that guy since Duke. And
so you would not do that trade?
I don't know because genuinely, like Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller are not enough, giving me personally enough excitement to take them at 2. But do I really want Zion Williamson?
How about Brandon Ingram?
I would, if Brandon Ingram was in the package,
Yeah.
Now we can start talking.
Okay. Chandler, you just want to make the pick.
I look, the Panthers, the Hornets have a chance to pick a guy that can change their franchise.
Do they?
At number 2? I mean, of course.
One of these guys, you think? I mean, it's. Yeah.
I think, a number 2 pick would be something that should change your franchise. Whether that's in this draft or not, I don't think so.
Shirley, do we have to do a break real quick? Say the sponsors? Come on.
Yes.
All right, let's run through them real quick.
Give me just a second
All
here.
right, you ready, Chandler?
Yep.
All right.
All right, the Buck.
Live music every single day of the week. How many times do they have it a week? 7 times they'll have live music, whether it's DJ Captain Morgan on Tuesday, open mic night on Monday, line dancing lessons on
Great place
Wednesday.
to watch a game, too.
Yes.
Shirley.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Need a car? Go there.
Go see them.
First Bank.
You need to.
They're not the second bank, are they? No, they're first.
The very first.
Yep.
Appliances Superstore.
Hello. Do you need appliances? Do you need a washer and dryer? Do you need a refrigerator? Go see Frank Lee over at Appliances Superstore. Everything is at least 40% off from retail price.
Man.
Go see him.
Frank.
Ron Ayers.
Ron Ayers Motorsports Superstore.
Need a lawnmower? Do you like to ride motorbikes?
Lawnmower?
Side by side? Go see my friend Jimmy Stallings at Ron Ayers Motorsports.
Oh, he is the nicest guy ever.
He is.
Shirley.
That's it.
All right. Chandler, good job.
Thank you.
Joey, great work this week, man. 3rd straight day producing on the video side. Shirley's going to be out of pocket for a little while. So
I will be back next Friday, and I will be at the ladies' clinic for ECU football.
All right.
So
We'll
you will see me there.
All right, Shirley, Chan, man, Joey, thank you, fine folks. Thank you all for tuning in as well. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday at 3 on Pirate Radio Live. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
He's skipping through the hallways and pretty overjoyed that it's only 25 games. But here's why I think Adam Silver got it wrong. This punishment is about getting Ja Morant's life back on track. I'm truly, genuinely concerned if he does not change his ways, he's going to end up dead or in jail. Those are kind of the two paths that he's heading down if things in his life, his decisions, who he hangs out with, don't improve, don't change. Now, let's just be real here. You wave a gun to the wrong person, bad things are going to happen. That's just the reality of the world we live in today.